If you're a Muslim who's been struggling to make halal money online, in this video, I'm going to give you the entire roadmap I have followed to generate tens and thousands of dollars online, and my students have followed to also generate thousands and thousands of dollars online. And I want you to understand that anyone can do this. If you're a beginner with no skills or anything, you can do this. All I require from you is to give this your undivided time and attention and just take action on the things we talk about. We'll be covering the fundamentals from mindset and psychology. We'll be covering the actual skill set and how to implement it. You are getting everything you will need to start making halal money online in one of the most simple ways possible. You have been making dua for this. You want freedom. You want to escape the 9 to 5, take care of your parents, move to a Muslim country. This video can be the ticket for you. I have not added any BS or anything like that just to make the video longer and for it to seem valuable. I've given you everything you need, everything the younger version of me needed. So again, please just give this your undivided time and attention. And I promise, with enough action and dua, you also can win. Let's get straight into module 1 and go over the foundations. Number 1, I need you to understand that we do not achieve goals, we achieve characters, and then these characters end up achieving the goals we've set out to achieve. I know that might not really make sense right now, but I need you to understand you are here right now, and there's a reason that you are making the money you are making. You're at 0K a month. But for you to get to 2K a month, 5K a month, 10K a month, 100K a month, you need to fundamentally change and become a different person. Your mindset, your actions, your standards all need to change for your output, for your results in life to also change. And I'm going to be very honest with you, this change is going to be painful. It's going to be difficult. It is going to be hard. You're going to procrastinate a lot. You're going to have a lot of fear and doubt and just negative stuff that will hold you back. That is me being completely honest. I would love to be like some guru and tell you, oh, this is so easy. Anyone can do this. No, this will require a lot of effort and it will actually be psychologically painful for you. And not everyone will be able to do it. But if you understand that, yes, I need to change, and you're willing to go through the pains and the trials and tribulations, it will work out, inshallah. And one thing to help you just deal with this change, deal with this pain, psychological pain, is basically to have a vision, understand why you are doing it. There is a quote from some smart guy, I forget who it is, but it's basically a man with a strong enough why can bear any how. So if you understand your main motivation, your main vision, that okay, I want to do this for my family, I want to do XYZ, I want to move to a Muslim country so my kids can be raised there, and I want to do this and I want to do that, blah blah, and you have a very strong vision and you keep it in your mind 24/7, you go through it every single morning, every single night, you know exactly what you want, you visualize you having it, this pain becomes a lot more bearable because you understand why you're doing it and you can make the change that you want to make happen. Not faster, not easier, but it's more bearable and it's more possible for you. Second thing I want you to understand is that what Allah has can never be acquired but through obedience with Him. It is so imperative for you to lock in with your deen, for you to be praying on time, for you to be reading your Quran, going to the mosque when you can. All of this stuff is so important. And this process of you being locked in with your deen will make everything else in your life, your business, so much easier. You will have more barakah and you will just be having less distractions. You will be more locked in every area of life, and you will also have a heightened sense of tawakkul, because again, this is going to be difficult, but when you trust Allah and you have just that tawakkul in your Lord, in your Creator, who has everything that you want, who has the 10K a month, who has the clients and everything you need, Allah has. When you can understand that with time, when Allah plans, it will come to you. You will be again so much better at just going through these trials and tribulations. There have been so many times where when I started in business, I went broke. This thing happened, that thing happened. But me understanding that Allah is the Ar-Razak, that this is a test from Allah, I was able to go through it, and I need you to have the same mindset. Also, purify your intentions. There have been many times continuously, I'll be honest, even with me, where I'm like, oh, I just have some random intentions for why I'm even running my business. It's just some stupid stuff. And it might be for you as well. Oh, like the car, the this, the that. And that's okay to us, like to an extent, right? We all have that love for the dunya, but it's important to still purify your intentions on a consistent and constant basis. And again, this really goes in ties with the intention and the vision you set in the first place, understanding your why. So purify your intention. You're doing this for the sake of Allah. This will help you have more freedom in your life. It will allow you to become a better Muslim. It will allow you to be a better man for your family. So purify your intentions. Do this for the right reasons, and you will have more barakah in it, and you will feel better in the whole process. Thirdly, I want to talk about limiting beliefs. And this is so, so important as well. I understand that you want to get into the whole make money online. How do I do this? What is the method? But I promise you, this is the actual stuff that's more important. Any business model, anything can work, but about whether you can make it work. You need to, like I said, fundamentally change. And you right now have so many limiting beliefs, and that is why you are not making the money you want to make. And I want you to understand that whatever you believe in, it will become true. So it is so crucial. It's imperative for you to fix your beliefs. You have so many dirty, negative, limiting beliefs holding you back from taking the action required. You might think, oh, that's super, super hard to make halal money online. Oh, it's impossible for you to make halal money online. You're the only person. Everyone else can do it, but you can't because of XYZ reason. Oh, you're here, you're in this place, blah, blah. You can't do it. You might think that money is evil, that money is bad, it's fitna, it's not good for me. There's not a lot of money around, it's scarce. Oh, you need to hoard money, you need to save money because there's not a lot of it, you might run out of it. All of this stuff is just negative, limiting beliefs holding you back from becoming and unlocking the better version of you. And you need to understand that beliefs lead into actions. Whatever you believe in, it will directly correlate to the action you take. If you think that it's so hard to make halal money online, you are so much less likely to actually go take action on trying to build an online business, on trying to build an online income. And again, if you think money is evil, you will kind of almost run away from the money. You will be like, no, 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 I don't want to get too much money. 10K a month is too much. There's too much fitna with 10K a month. Like you will just self-sabotage in a way. So it's very important that you really just sit down and analyze your beliefs multiple times and understand like, no, no, this is the bad belief I have and it's holding me back from living the life I want to live. Fix your beliefs and you will fix your reality. Every time I've sat down and just analyzed my beliefs, seeing what I believe in, I've ended up making more money. Number 4, there is no tomorrow. A lot of you guys, and this is honestly such a big trick from Shaitan, it's to make you think that you have more time. Oh, don't worry, like you have more time. Like it's not. It doesn't even have to be in business. That like you have more time for just life. You don't need to lock in with your deen right now. You don't need to go to Hajj this year. You don't need to do Umrah today. You have more time. You can do it 5 years from now. Just wait for X. Just wait for Y. And it's the same with online business. You have already been procrastinating on this. You have already not tapped into making money online. It's maybe been 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. It might have even just been a week and you still haven't taken action on it. It might have been 2 days and you haven't taken action on it because you think you have more time. And I want you to understand you do not have more time. Your parents are sick of working the jobs they're working right now, and they're waiting for you to be successful, for you to make the money so they can retire, they can live a better life, they can live a more comfortable life, and they don't have to go work a job, they don't have to go take orders from another man. That's why they pushed you so hard all of your life when you were growing up and everything, because they had big hopes from you that you could become successful and you could help them in their lives and help them live the life that they wanted. So it's your moral duty, it's your responsibility to not only just become successful, but become successful today. Take action for it today. Take relentless action and move with speed, move with urgency. It's the same thing for your future or current wife, whatever it is. She wants a strong man who can provide for her. No matter how like the feminine, what is a feminist like psyop and everything. At the end of the day, every woman wants a strong man who can provide for her. No one wants to wake up and go to a 9 to 5, no matter how career focused they are. It's just BS 99% of the time. She wants a man who can just come into her life or is in her life and just solve this problem of money, doesn't care about it because he makes so much from an online business. He has so much problem and he's self-developed and improved and gotten to the next level anyways. Just you have every reason to make this happen and you have every reason to make it happen today. Now, I say that and I'm not going to tell you, yeah, you're going to get to 10K a month today or tomorrow or next month. It will take you time, but what you can do and what you should do is get started today. You're already behind. There is no more time to waste. If you're in your early, your 18, 19, your early 20s, in your late 20s, whatever it is, you are already behind. You are already late, and you need to start executing right now. This opportunity will run out. And the reason I've said that you will be enslaved is look at what's going on around the world with digital IDs, with all of this stuff. They are going to take away so much of your freedom. Technically, with a digital ID, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the right, they can tell you, oh, sorry, buddy, we don't like you because XYZ reason, and you can't go do Umrah today. Sorry, you can't leave the country because of this reason, because of that reason, whatever it is. They will literally control you in that way. And the only way out is to have an online income. They can literally, even right now, you need to have or they're trying to get it, whatever. I'm not going to get into too many politics, but you need to have a digital ID to get a job. If you can't get a job, you can't make money online. Sorry, you can't make money at all, and you can't provide for your family. You need to take control of your own reality, and you need to do it now. There is no tomorrow. You might die tomorrow. You don't even know. So go execute right now and push to make things happen. Go all in today. Now, how to guarantee success? Most Muslims think there's a strong chance of them failing. That, oh, like if I get into an online business, if I try to make money online, I'll fail. But that's not true. And it's not only not true if you, number one, you start now, you keep learning, you keep developing your skill set, and you take an insane amount of relentless action. You put out so much volume and you don't give up because you didn't see instant results. You didn't get to 10K a month in your first 6 months. You didn't get to 10K a month in your first year, in your first 2 years, whatever it is. You keep going, you keep learning, you keep getting better, you keep taking action, and you just don't give up. It's not an option. Giving up is not an option because what else are you going to do? Are you going to go stay in your job for the rest of your life for 20, 30, 40 years and just live the same day over and over again? That is not an option. You need to make this work. It has to work. It's not like, oh, it won't work. No, it has to work. And if you start now, you keep learning, you put in so much work, so much action, and you just never give up. And you do that while putting your trust in Allah, while having tawakkul and making tons of dua. I promise you, on a long enough time frame, you are bound to win. Failure, it doesn't mean you need to fail forever. You might have failed in the past, you might have failed today, you might fail tomorrow, but it doesn't always have to be like that. If you follow this and you don't give up, you keep trusting Allah, you keep making dua, it will work out. Now, I want to quickly go over the importance of self-education because it will change your life. And I need you to understand and develop this mindset of being a student of life forever, like learning things in every area of life. It doesn't even have to be in business. And I respect you for even being here on this training because this is pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've made this boring on purpose. I could have put like nice pictures, haha, cutesy, all this stuff, and this video would have gotten more views, and it would have made me feel better. But no, I made this boring on purpose. I could have paid an editor to like put nice effects and everything to keep your attention. But I made this boring on purpose because business and making money online is boring. It's hard. It requires effort. It's not like scrolling on TikTok. So you need to be a student of life. And I personally have invested more than $15,000 into my own skill set and development, learning so many different things, learning from guys that are multimillionaires, guys that are super successful, and just gone all in on it. I have literally sacrificed my hard-earned money when I didn't even have that much money. I would just go spend it all on a mentorship, on a this thing, on a that thing. So it's crucial, it's vital, it's imperative that you understand the importance of self-educating. It's not like school, it's not like this. You need to really basically write the check for speed. Yes, all of the information is out there. Like, look, I'm giving you away this whole course for free and the information is free. But when you write the check, when you pay someone, not only do you learn better, not only do you get better results because you're paying more attention, but you get the exact specific knowledge you need. You've already spent dollars on a degree, maybe you plan to. Most people have spent some form of dollars on a degree. But why are you so hesitant to invest on learning the skills for your online income? Why are you, maybe you have in the past as well, perhaps. I respect you for that. Maybe you didn't get results, maybe you did get results. But you need to develop this mindset of investing in your own self, investing in your own self education. And I say this to tell you to not buy a course. Do not buy a course, like just a course alone, because those are not help. Courses are more broad and they cannot give you the specific information and the specific knowledge you need. You want to buy more things like mentorship, where you get the specific stuff, where you get on a group call and the person answers a specific question you need, and that one thing helps you get to the next level. So don't just buy a course, but something like even books, for example, they can be pretty valuable. Sometimes, a lot of times these days, they are just like marketing tools to help you buy the $1,000 course and then the 10,000 mentorship, whatever it is. But the best things from my like experience have just been mentorships and programs where you get on a group call with a guy and he goes over, analyzes your business, tells you what to do, you implement it, and you get results instantly. So very important. And I'll tell you, look at the guy who you're buying from. Has he helped you in the past? Has his free content helped you? Are you matching with his morals and values? Look at client results, all of that stuff. And if you want to work with me personally, there's a call link below. You can just book a call here. You'll personally speak to me. But yeah, regardless, let's actually go straight into module 3, the game plan. Now, 99% of Muslims will never make halal money online because they bite on more than they can chew, and it's because of the lies the gurus have sold them. If you haven't been able to make halal money online, yeah, it's not really your fault. It's because you've been doing the wrong approach. You've been going at it from the wrong direction, because you shouldn't start an online business as a beginner. There are way too many skills required to make an online business or a business in general work. You need to learn sales, marketing, prospecting, blah, 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 blah. So much skills, so much different stuff. And most people that you see with a successful business today had some form of specific experience before they actually got into that business. They learned this form of the industry. They did this. They learned sales. Then they did a marketing job. And then they learned like product fulfillment. And then they went and started their online business. And they already had to learn a bunch of other things. But it requires so much just information. It requires so much learning to actually make a business work. What you need to first do is understand how money is made, and that will help you actually basically reverse engineer how to actually go make that money. And the first thing you need to understand is that money is not made by you and me. It's literally printed by the government, and we can't go make that money, right? We're basically the peasants. They print that money whenever they want. But what we can do here is sit and take money from other people. And the only ethical way of doing that is by providing value. Now, what is value? It's basically when you solve a problem for someone, when you take away some pain from someone. In a way, I am providing value here to you, because I'm taking away the pain. I'm solving the problem of how to make money online. I'm going to give you a roadmap. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that, whatever it is. And you need to basically alleviate people's pains by learning a high income skill and using that to solve problems for existing businesses. That is simply it. And the high income skill I will recommend to you is sales, and specifically remote high ticket sales. Now, in general, sales is pretty mid of a job or of a career. Like a car salesman, a door to door. Most of these guys don't necessarily make that much money. And it's very like, it's a difficult job. It's very hard. You need to put in like 12, 14-hour days. You don't have much freedom and it's just not very good. But with remote high ticket sales, you can work from anywhere on the planet and make more money doing it because it's more expensive stuff, and we'll go specifically into how it works. And you don't even need any experience or certification to start either. And here's specifically how it works. On one side, there's going to be a business, a company like a guru who is creating content online. They're doing online marketing and they're selling some form of info product, digital product online. And the thing is, let's take for example, Iman Gadzhi. He has a big audience of 1 million people, 2 million people, 3 million people, and he's selling one of his products for 24,000, I believe. It's 18,000, 24,000. Now, they're not going to be, his audience isn't going to be able to come and buy his product from, let's say, like an Amazon page, like you do on Amazon, or so, like a random, like just e-com website you would see, right? Because 18,000, 24,000 people need to know what more about it. They need convincing. They need to speak to someone before they buy the product. And there's plenty of guys selling something that expensive. And here's the thing. Of course, Iman can't speak to millions of people in his audience, but he hires a team, a high ticket sales team that can work from anywhere on the planet. And they basically talk to people interested in buying his program. They speak to them and they basically sell them into buying the program. And the good thing about this is that they're already warmed up. They already trust him. And you're basically just working for Iman Gadzhi, for any other guru. There's so many companies like this online, and they require a big amount of sales teams, people that can help them basically sell to the people they want to sell to. Again, we're going to get a lot more into depth on exactly how this works. But there's basically two different roles in these teams. Let's actually talk about them. One is an appointment setter, or just a setter in general, and the other, second, is a high ticket closer, or just a closer. An appointment setter, very simply, you are let, for example, in the DMs of Iman Gadzhi or any of these other gurus or companies, anything, or you call up the people interested in buying these programs, right? And your job is very simple. You talk to someone, you qualify them, and you get them booked on a call. And this is actually very, very good for beginners. You get a 5% commission for every call you book that ends up getting closed, that the deal is made, right? So basically, you're literally just typing messages or taking a few calls. You don't really even sell anything. You literally don't sell anything. You talk to someone, you qualify them to see if they like, if they actually want to, if they have a goal that's in alignment with the product you're selling, and if they have enough money to actually buy into the program. And then you literally just get them booked on a call. You don't need to sell them anything. It's usually like a 10-15 minute call maximum, or like 5-10 minutes in the DMs. And for that, you can get a 5% commission. And a lot of times these are 5K programs, 10K programs, 20K, 50K programs, and you're getting commission off that. Secondly is a closer. You get calls booked into your calendar from the appointment setter, from the setter. So you basically wake up and there's 3, 4, 5, 6 calls you have to take in your calendar, and you basically take the sales calls, and your job's to just close the deal. It's 10% commissions from like a 45-minute call, right? Where you're basically going to be talking and understanding the prospect. Now, we are going to have an entire sales mastery module coming up, so don't like worry about exactly how it's done. But very simply, you're just talking to them. You're just trying to understand the situation. And let's say it's a $10,000 program and you get the sale. Let's say you have 3 sales calls, you close one of them. So let's say each sales call was for like 30 minutes, for example, and you ended up closing one of them. For those 3 calls, you ended up making $1,000. That's your commission, right? Because you bought the company in 10%. The appointment setter who got the call booked for you will take 5%. You take 10%. The company takes the rest. And it's so, I won't say it's easy, but it is simple. you're just sitting there taking calls, talking to people. And once you develop this skill set of just selling and dealing with objections, which we're going to cover, you can actually get very, very good at this. Now, let's actually quickly go over the roadmap before I teach you the exact skill set required to sell over the phone and all that stuff. Number one, I need you to understand stacking skills is key. Yes, honestly, the skill of sales could get you to six figures. And if you're happy with that, you're happy with that. But you can literally stack other skills. So let's say phase one is this is what I've personally done. I literally mastered remote high ticket sales, got really good at it. And this can alone, like I said, make you six figures a year, even more, and give you freedom. You can work from anywhere you want. You don't necessarily have time freedom, for example. You still need to get on calls. And if you don't take calls, you don't get paid. But phase two is where we start learning marketing and building a brand, a personal brand through content creation. And this is where you build your own business. Honestly, you can get to six figures a year with this, and maybe you're happy with that, and that's completely fine. But I personally want to build a business that does 100K a year, 100K a month, six figures a month, a million a month. I want to have a big type of business. And obviously, I have to take more risk for that. Obviously, I have to work harder for that and learn things, which you might not want to do. But that's kind of the path that I'm taking, right? And by doing this, I also have a bit more leverage. I find it more fulfilling, and it's AI proof as well. Although high ticket sales, I believe, will be AI proof because people always want to talk to people. They need to connect to people to actually buy into them. So that's always going to be a thing as well. But yeah, personal branding, super powerful. So moving forward, we'll talk about both of those. Now, first, actually, let's get into sales mastery. So I promise you, I'll teach you the skill of sales, and we're going to get straight into that. Now, firstly, I need you to understand that remote high ticket sales is the best type of sales and the easiest. These people are already bought into the company you're working for, the creator, the guru you're working for, and they just need that final push. They just need to have that conversation with someone and just get that final push to get to the next level and actually buy in. The following are modules that I've sold for 5K. So I won't lie to you, the video modules you're going to see weren't the only things that were being sold for 5K, but they were part of my program that was going on sale for 5K. And we'll be covering sales psychology. We'll be covering the scripts, and we'll also be covering objection handling. So objection handling, again, like I'll cover in the modules, and the resources, the scripts and stuff should be in the description, but go through the modules first, and then you can unlock the scripts and everything like that beneath, and it will make more sense. In this chapter, we're going to be breaking down exactly how to turn strangers on the internet into customers. Now, I'll be basically breaking down the sales for you, teaching you the psychology, the entire process, giving you the script, everything, right? But technically, like when you are actually doing the business, right, the marketing is going to come first, right? You have to market, then you will get sales calls. But I wanted to teach you this first so you can actually get clarity on what you will do when the calls are booked. And also you basically get a very good idea of like, you'll learn things from here that you can implement in marketing as well and with your funnel and everything like that. So let's actually talk about what sales is. It is simply the process of getting people to pay for your offer. It's convincing people to give you their money. And there are multiple ways we can sell. We can sell on a website, on webinars, on sales calls, or in the DMs, right? Just messaging people. But we specifically will be selling through sales calls just because of different things, right? Because honestly, it is the most efficient way for you to close deals, especially as you are a complete beginner, and because our offer is going to be high price, right? What we're going to be selling is pretty high price, it's high ticket. So that's why we're going to be using sales calls. And with the process and everything I'm about to teach you in this chapter, you will be like an above average salesperson. You'll be a G at sales, right? You'll be very good, inshallah. So this, again, like calls, they allow you to really connect with people so they can actually understand how you can help them. And you can also like handle any objections, right? Any limiting beliefs they might have. You can overcome those and get the deal across the line. So you're a lot more in control. And as I said, it's a lot more efficient. But firstly, let's actually talk, before I teach you what sales is and all that good stuff, let's talk about common like misconceptions around sales. One, you might think, I can't be good at sales. And I want you to understand this and realize this. The sales is just a skill, which means it's something you can learn and master just like every other skill. Anyone, including you, can get good at sales with the right training and with the right mindset, both of which I will teach you, right? So you also might think, oh, I have to act extroverted or shout and just be this like really like charismatic type of guy, like, oh, I'm introverted, Zain, I can't be good at sales. You need to realize that, like, you might have this belief, right? I know a lot of people have this belief that you have to act a certain way to actually be good at sales. You have to be like this loud, very extroverted guy. This is not the case. You just need to understand the prospect and clearly articulate and show them you can help them with their problems and with everything you're offering. Because quite frankly, no one cares about you. When you're on a call with someone, they only care about themselves. So if you show that you care about them and their problems as well, they will automatically like you and trust you. Some of the best salesmen in the world are introverts who aren't loud, they're not extroverts or anything like that, right? So all you have to do is show that you care, number one, by actually caring, and then show them the value and what is it that you have to offer and how that will help them. As simple as that. So another thing you might be thinking, or I know people think, is sales is slimy or immoral. There's this like big narrative like, oh, salespeople are weird or this, that. I agree. Sales can be immoral and slimy, but only if you are. It's in your control. Let's say you get on a call with someone and you go through the whole process of discovery, basically like ask them questions about their problems, about their life, understanding them, and you realize you can't help them at all. Like your offer, what you have to offer, what your product is, it can't help them. And there's no value you can provide, but you still try to sell them and take their money. That, my friend, is immoral and that is slimy. Now, let's take another situation. You get on a call with another person. Again, you go through the whole process of discovery. You ask them a question, getting to know them, and you realize that they actually need your help, that you can help them. And then you show them the value, but they say something like, oh, like, this sounds great, this is great, but like, I need to like consider, I need to think about it. Oh, let me think about this, let me do this. They're giving you a bit of resistance, which is quite natural, right? If you don't overcome just that little bit of resistance on their side, they might have some fear, they don't want to put the money down, whatever it is. If you don't help them overcome that, if you don't help them make the right decision for themselves, then you are the one that is immoral and slimy. Because your product could help them, it could change their life, but you're the one who isn't helping them make the right decision for themselves. You're going to let them get off the call, go on the no pressure scenario, right, where they can just sit in the pain, in the problem, and not actually make a decision, not actually take action that will change their life. Again, let's say someone is obese and they're coming to you and they tell you, oh yeah, I need to start losing weight. I have to start losing weight or I'm going to have a heart attack and die. I have a family of 5. I have 3 kids. My kids are going to have to grow up without a father if I don't lose 10 kilos. And you can help him. You know that your program, what you have to offer, your diet plan, your specific mechanism can help him. But when you mention the price, when you're trying to get him to join and he's having a bit of, perhaps not doubts, but he's having that resistance, he wants to think about it. It is genuinely immoral of you to not convince him, to not help him make the right decision for himself, to not help him take action to get out of his situation and take action to join your program so you can genuinely save his life. Just like we talked about before in module 2, right? People, when you want to change, there's a lot of resistance. You have like a lot of things you need to fight over. And it's the same for other people when they want to buy into your program. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. They might have this resistance that they just need your help to make the right decision. That's literally it. But it is genuinely immoral of you to not help them. This is what sales is. Sales is just helping people make the right decision for themselves. It might be to come and join your program. It might be to not buy from you. Either way, you need to make sure, obviously, we're doing the right thing and we're helping them genuinely make the right decision. And again, we're going to talk about how to really specifically help them and all that stuff. So to get the most out of this chapter, rewatch all of the modules, go through the script multiple times. Sales is easy. I want you to have this belief. A lot of people have this thing like, oh, like Sales is hard, sales is this, sales is simple, sales is easy, and sales is fun. Sales is genuinely one of the most fun part about this business. Getting off a sales call, having made money, having had a great conversation, and help someone make the right decision is genuinely so beautiful and so purposeful. And if you can learn to sell, you will never go hungry. This is the bloodline of our business. Very, very important. So pay attention. Practice the script, say it out loud, and understand the psychology behind it. I'm going to share that with you later down the module. I believe it's going to be 3.4, 3.5, whatever. I'll share with you, right? But yeah, if I promise you, you will master sales through the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Through this program, you will become a very good salesperson. I've used these same strats to close tens of thousands of dollars of deals. And I promise you, inshallah, you will do 1 million deals and whatever, right? It's very important. Pay attention, and I promise you, you will win. In this module, I'm going to be specifically breaking down how sales works, why people actually buy. So don't worry about the script or anything else like that for now. We will go through that and I'll break it all down for you. But just understand the basics, right? The foundation of what actually happens. Because once you do, everything else in sales and even like your marketing and just life in general will make a lot more sense. It will become a lot easier because sales is life. You're always selling. So let's actually talk about, like, I guess the psychology, right? We know people have a current situation and a desired situation, but here's the problem. People have a very rough idea of what they actually want and where they are in life. In fact, most of the time, people are clueless about their current situation or even where they want to go to. So here's the current situation, but they don't know what the goal is, where they want to get to. Or they have a current situation and they have a desired situation, but they don't know how far apart they are. They don't know the actual difference between them or where exactly they need to go and all that stuff. So what we do is, like, first, let's just take that into example, right? If they don't know what they want, or they don't know how far it is or where it is, how they will generally not buy because they don't have any reason to. So our job in sales is to make people aware of their current situation very clearly. So this, and then to make them aware of their desired situation very, very clearly. And then create a clear, big gap between where they are and where they want to be and a reason why they are not there yet. This is crucial for the sale, and this is done. And when this is done, and only then, can you actually pitch your offer or your product as a solution to the problems. So what we need to do is have a current situation and a desired situation in their mind. Hey, Bob, you're over here in your current situation. You want to get to this desired situation, and we know very clearly what this is. And Bob, there's a big gap between where you are and where you want to be, bro. And psychologically, right? So I've been in high ticket sales before. I've worked that job. And I remember when this guy was teaching it to me, right? The sales manager, he was telling me like how psychologically us humans, when we see this gap, we want to close that gap. We want to make that jump as soon as possible, and we want to close it. So when we create current situation, we understand their desired situation with them. So my bad, right? We're not creating it. It's already there in their mind. But we just need to define it. We need to make it very clearly and show the gap. So then we position our product in the middle as a connection between where they are and where they want to be. Simple as that. Now, let's talk specifically about your mindset around the call, right? This is what we're basically going to be doing in the call. This is it. This right here, this diagram is sales. You're going to sit down, you're going to get their current situation, you're going to get their desired situation, you're going to show there's a big gap and put your product in the middle to close that gap. That's simply it. So let's specifically talk about your mindset around the call. You might make the mistake of going onto the call thinking about just selling because, it's a sales call. But that's completely wrong. You need to go on a call with the mindset of understanding the prospect and seeing if you can even help them. As simple as that. 80% of the call is just going to be discovery. That's it. Discovery is you're going to ask them questions. You're discovering them. You're discovering their life, their problems, everything they have to do. You're just going to be asking them questions. And then 20% of the call, if it makes sense, if they are a good fit, that's when you're going to sell. That's when you're going to objection handle, all that stuff we'll talk about. But 80% of the call is just actually understanding the prospect and making them feel understood. If you can understand someone and make them feel understood, They will love you. They will like you, know you, and like of course they know you, but they will trust you. The chances of getting them to buy go insanely high. But if you just get on the call to just sell, yo, Bob, I've got this offer. This is gonna change your life. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Boom, it's not gonna work. But 80% of the call needs to just be discovery, and you need to focus on just getting to know them. Okay, so get into the call with the intention of just getting to know the prospect, understanding them and their problems, all that stuff. And at the very end, again, if you feel like you can help, that's when you sell. But again, if you feel like you can't help them, just get off the call. Call it a day. Hey, Bob, I'm sorry, I can't help you, man. Here's some free resources. My program isn't going to be a good fit for you. This won't work. So this is a perfect example. Imagine you went to a doctor and without asking you any questions, the doctor is just like, yo, bro, get this pill. You go into the doctor, you're asking him, you literally just walk in and he gives you a pill. He doesn't ask you anything. Would you take that pill? Would you trust the doctor? You'll be like, bro, what? Who is this doctor? What is this guy doing? You wouldn't trust him. You don't take his pill, nothing, right? But when you go into the doctor, he sits you down, he asks you what's wrong, he asks you all these questions, the symptoms, all these questions doctor asks. We've all been there. Then he gives you a pill. After he's asked you all these questions and everything, he tells you your problem and he gives you a pill. Then every single time you go buy that pill, we've all been there. 100% of the time we go buy the pill. Doctors are literally like the best salespeople, right? They almost always close. Everyone almost always buys from them. They literally that's what we're going to be doing. Think of yourself almost as a doctor and understand the prospect like a doctor would. Ask them about their pains, their problems. We're going to, of course, go through this go through the script that you'll follow, but just have that mindset that this is what you're going to do, and this will build up trust, and it will allow you to understand if you can even help them. Sales, like I've said before, is just helping people make the right decision for themselves. And sometimes that decision is not buying from you. That decision is not working with you, and that's completely fine. But by even getting a no, even saying to someone, oh, this isn't going to work, or they say, no, this isn't the right fit, and you agreeing with them, that's completely fine. Because for some people, very rarely, some people, it won't be a good fit. It won't be the right thing for them. So just focus on an accurate diagnosis, and don't care about whether they will buy from you or not. This way, people will trust you more, and you'll only get clients that you can help. I will see you in 3.3. All right, in this module, we're going to be going through the script. So why it is the way it is, I'm going to be explaining it to you. We're going to be reading it together. But before we jump into that, I need to let you know a few very important things just about sales and stuff, right? Just a few extra additional things on top of what we've discussed already in 3.1, 3.2. So number one, sales is all about creating a gap between the current situation and the desired situation inside of the prospect's mind and building the pain that they are not there yet. Simple. It's literally just that. But a mistake you might make is that when people get on the call and they're opening up to you, right? They're telling you about their problems, their pain, and honestly, they will go very deep at times. They will tell you a lot of opening things about them. You'll get the urge to help them. Now, I want you to not help them on the call. You must understand that these feelings they're getting of pain and when they start to understand the gap or where they are, where they want to be, is actually good, and this is why they will take action. But if you try relieving their pain instantly, you give them a short-term solution and you take away their activation energy they need to actually take action and buy from you. You might think this is a bit unethical, but it's not. Because when you try to relieve their pain a little bit on the call, you're just trying to make them feel good. They will do nothing in the long term. It won't change anything for them in the long term. It's not enough for them to actually close the gap and get to where they want to be. So on the call, you need to just ask questions, take notes, and just make the offer. Do not get into coaching mode on the call. It will help no one. So for example, let me give you an example. You get on the call, you're doing fitness coaching, and this fat guy comes to you and he's like, bro, I'm fat. I hate my life. I'm so I lack confidence. I hate looking at myself in the mirror. I think I'm going to kill myself. I don't know what to do. He's going to open up to you. He's going to talk a lot of things to you. He's going to tell you, yeah, bro, I'm fat. I wish I had a six-pack. He's going to do all these things with you, right? You would get this urge to help him. Maybe you just try to relieve his pain by encouraging him a little bit. Oh, bro, don't worry. Yeah, man, it will work out for you in the long run. Like, bro, it's okay, man. Or like, yeah, bro, just do a calorie deficit or do this or do that. And you will actually try like, and you will basically just take away the energy he needs to, you will take him away from his pain at that time, but it's not going to help him in the long run. And it will also take away his activation energy to actually get results. So let them sit in their pain, because that's what they need to actually get change. As we've spoken about before, when a person is trying to change, there's a lot of resistance. But once you actually make them like, you make them feel the pain, and they use that pain to change and actually get results and buy from you, which will be good for them. It will help them get results, right? So just keep that in mind. Don't get into coaching mode, and inshallah you'll be good. Number 2, what I'm about to teach you is extremely powerful. So please use it in an ethical and halal way. I'm not trying to hype up the script or anything like that. But the way the script is, it can allow you to sell things to people they don't even need. So you only sell when it makes sense, when you know you can help the person and they need it and all that stuff, right? Don't just scam people out of the money. Keep it halal, of course. I don't want any like badness around my script. But yeah, you must understand the framing of a sales call as well. So I made this mistake before as well. When I first started, you are either in control or you're being controlled. It's as simple as that. So you're the host of your call, so you need to keep that dynamic. And you're the one asking questions. And if someone comes on trying to ask you questions, you need to bring them back into the frame. That this is a call for you to ask them questions and make an offer. And it's not Q&A. As simple as that. I remember the first time I got into a sales call, it was a complete opposite. This guy just kept yapping and like, bro, it was so bad, right? It wasn't good. It was a sales call, but it wasn't a sales call. Because I didn't hold frame. I wasn't in control. I lost control. He took over the call. So it's very important that you keep control of the call. And number 4, don't see it as a complete script that you must always follow word for word. Sometimes, not all the time, but on rare occasions, the conversation might go off the script. For example, they might have already answered the question, or, they've, or like just how they reply to something. Like, you might not have to follow the script word for word. So obviously, don't be a robot. Use your common sense. Just use your normal, average social skills, and just go to the next part of the script accordingly. See the script as more of a conversational guide and a very specific framework for you to follow. But there will be times where you need to think on the spot, where you need to come up with a question that reframes things, whatever it is, right? But just take the script as a guide. Like a disclaimer, I'm not saying never follow the script. Majority of the time, follow the script, say what it says word for word, memorize it or say it very, very well. And just be open to the idea of sometimes thinking on the spot, sometimes things changing, stuff like that. Now, let's actually go over the script. I'll open it up and we'll read it together and I'll explain things to you. So this is the sales script. Inshallah, let's go through it together. I'll explain things to you, but fundamentally, this is what I use, right? But you'll have to come up with your own one. Not come up with it, just change a few things. We'll talk about it. So first, let's do pre-call preparation. Literally 5 minutes before the call, make sure you do all the following. If you are not ready on your table with everything ready 5 minutes before the call, you are late. Just have that mindset, right? So number 1, make sure that you're in a quiet room with no interruptions. You can use Zoom on your computer or like Google Meet, whatever you have it, if you're hosting it on. Just make sure that your hands are free. You've got a piece of paper or a notebook in front of you. You've got your laptop on the side. It's facing you. The lighting is good. You look relatively professional. Like there's no like random stuff in the back, right? Your room is clean, all that good stuff. You have your notepad on there with you, all of that. And just make sure you're also recording the Zoom call. So there's multiple ways you can do it. You can do it on Zoom. You can use Loom. Make sure you do that. Both those things. Have a pen and notepad in front of you. And completely mindset-wise, release all attachment to the yes and literally put all attachment into the accurate diagnosis, right? You're there to help them. Lose all of the emotional baggage from your day or previous calls. Be tranquil. Be focused. And just have the call ready to start and make sure that you start the very moment the clock hits the minute. Very, very simple. Very, very straightforward. So, part number 1, just a little bit of small chat. Hey John, how are you? Where are you calling from today? So when they hop on, right, you just want to have like good energy, positivity, smile on your face. Hey, how's it going, bro? How are you? Ah, nice, bro. Whereabouts are you calling from? Ah, really? How's the weather down there? Something like that, right? If a guy has a beard on the thing, I'll just tell him, oh, bro, I love your beard. I might have done it to one of you, because usually I just like people's beards, right? I just be like, oh, bro, I love your beard, and everyone like smiles and they like the compliment, something like that, just to hopefully, preferably, get them to smile. If not, that's all good. It's not a rule, right? That they have to smile or they don't have to smile. Just have good energy, ask them a few questions, and then it doesn't have to be long. This can be like 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, maybe like a minute and a half. And then from there, you can be like, well, basically, we only have 45 minutes. Is it all right if we get straight into it? Boom, get straight into it. Very, very simple. Then in part two, they will be like, so in part two, this is where you be like, at this, they'll be like, oh yeah, let's get straight into it, bro. You'd be like, awesome. Well, how this call will go is I'll start off by asking you some questions about where you are with your business and your application, which you sent through. Then, if it sounds like, if I can help you and it sounds like we're a good fit, I'll explain what I have to offer, how that works and everything. Then in the end, you can make a decision whether you want to be a part of it or not. We're basically giving them the option like, oh, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm basically here to speak to you, all that stuff, right? But if you want to be a part of it, it's nothing's forced. It's pretty like casually. They'll be like, okay, yeah, awesome, bro. Let's do it or whatever, right? Then you'll be like, okay, sweet, bro. So tell me, John, what motivated you to take time out of your day and schedule a call with me? So don't overthink this, all right? So I've had like sometimes like, oh, what should I say? It doesn't really matter what they say. They might sometimes just get straight into their current situation as well, right? They might tell you, yeah, bro, like for example with me, they're like, yeah, bro, I hate my job. It's this, that, I want to start a business, blah, blah. And I just wanted to get on the call and speak to someone who's done it, speak to you. I saw you YouTube. They'll just yap about some random stuff, right? It doesn't really matter. You can ask them if it's a bit confusing, if you don't know exactly what they're saying, you can just use one of these, right? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by you want to quit your 9 to 5? That's just an example, right? Pretty straightforward for that example, but you get it, right? Why do you think this problem exists? What else have you tried to fix this with? How long have you been dealing with this? Whatever it is, you want to just get an idea of where they are, what their motivation is to get on the call. You'll get different what's it called, things people say. Don't overthink it. It's not that deep. Then just jump into, okay, understanding the current situation, right? So, bro, are you, for example, with me, it's like, are you working right now or just studying? Because that's what people are usually doing, right? For you, it might be like, okay, awesome, bro. It's like, if it's fitness coaching, right? It might be like, okay, bro, so like, have you started like, whereabouts are you, bro? Are you going to the gym or are you not going to the gym? Are you dieting right now or just not worried about it at the moment? And okay, bro, so like, what type of diet are you on? Are you cutting? Are you bulking? What's going on? Tell me more about that. How's that going? How are you finding the diet so far? How are you finding your gym plan? How are you finding whatever it is that you want to just understand the current situation? Have childlike curiosity. Actually care. Just ask them follow-up questions. Get a very good image of where they are right now. And the cheat code is taking notes. Have a notepad in front of you and a pen that we had before. Just take notes. Whatever they say, just dot points. It doesn't have to be like nice handwriting, whatever. Make sure you're still looking at them, nodding, smiling, etc., etc. If they start getting like, bro, I hate my life, don't like smile and wave at them. But like obviously match their energy, right? That's a bit of a trick for sales. Match their energy, but literally just have that. Write things down. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, he's saying he wants to lose weight. Right now he's fat. Blah blah blah. Whatever it is. From there, we go straight into, okay, so bro, like, what's your weight? How you're 85. Is this the heaviest you've been? Excuse me. Just be like, okay, do you like the diet you are on? So for me, it's like, do you see yourself doing this in the next 10 years? This is a good question. You can ask yourself. You can ask them this in the niche, whatever niche it is, right, bro? Do you see yourself doing this like in the next 10 years? Like, do you see yourself being fat in the next 10 years? Obviously, frame it a bit better. Like, okay, bro, do you see yourself being this weight for the next 10 years or getting higher? No, bro, that would suck. I would lose. I want to lose weight. I would have diabetes, etc., etc. Right? Then you go into. So, do you have a process of like starting to lose weight, gaining weight? For me, it's like starting your business or making money. They're usually like no. But we want to get a very good idea of where they are right now. So it's very, very important to get like an exact figure, right? So for example, if it's weight loss, it's going to be, okay, bro, so what is your weight right now on the current situation? We want to know, right? So if you remember, actually, I think I might just have it open here. I don't. But if you remember, like the sales in 3.2, we said we need to know the current situation and the desired situation. We're going to get very, very clear on their current situation. Yeah, we're going to get very, very clear on their current situation and get the exact figure, right? So for money, it will be, yeah, bro, right now I'm making only 2K a month. Yeah, life sucks at 2K a month. You want to cause pain. You want to ask them questions. Is this what you want to do in the next 10 years? This is a very good question to ask. This will work in basically everything, right? So ask that. As soon as they tell you that, that's the last question we're asking. We jump straight into part 6. So figuring out the point B, the desired situation. Oh, okay. So where do you want to grow this business in the next 12 months? Okay, how much weight do you want to lose? How much weight do you want to gain? Whatever it is, right? You want to get straight from, we get their current situation, then we jump straight into the desired situation. That's creating the gap we talked about before. And okay, you want to learn a little bit more. So what is your motivation for getting to X? What would getting to X have an impact on other areas of your life? Bro, if you lost 5 kilos, like how would that affect other areas of your life? Oh, your wife will be more attracted to you. That's crazy. Oh, your children will respect you more. Stuff like that, right? In this part, we basically want to support them in their vision. This is very important. People like other people who support them and encourage their goals, their ambitions, their dreams. So this is very, very important. Make sure you also spend time clearly defining it. We talked about this in the previous module. We want to have a very clear current situation, desired situation. So take your time here. If they're aiming too low, for example, with me, right? If a guy's like, yeah, bro, I want to make like 1K a month. I want to make 2K a month. I'll encourage him. I'll be like, yeah, bro, of course that's possible. But you can do 5K a month. You can do 10K a month. For example, with me, bro, it took me like 6 months or whatever, right? I'll give him an example. I'll tell him a story to get him to aim high and also get him to say it himself. Okay, so would you say like that's like you would want to grow your business to like in the next 12 months, you would want to grow your business to 5K a month, to 10K a month, right? I'll encourage his dreams and just widen what's possible for him and everything like that. In this point, like you at starting off, you won't have like case studies and stuff, but use like stories of yourself, of people you've helped, wherever it is. You can use yourself as an example. Just have confidence, have conviction. Don't like let a limiting belief start, right? Oh, I don't have case studies or anything. Just have confidence. You'll be perfectly fine. You don't even need to do this. I don't think I've ever done this. I literally just say, okay, blah, 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 whatever, right? Encourage their dreams. That's the most crucial thing. And get, again, a very clear understanding of where they are in their current situation and where they want to be. That's what point A and B are. Current situation, desired situation. Very simple. Part 7, we're basically releasing control and letting them just like admit to themselves that they actually need help, right? So you basically say to them, okay, bro, you're at point A and you want to get to point B. Tell me what's stopping you from achieving that on your own. Very simple, very straightforward. Bro, you're making, so for example, you're at 80 kilos. You want to get to 73 kilos. Tell me what's stopping you from achieving that on your own. Super simple. A, B, and then we get them to talk about the problems, right? So again, this is to the diagram. We've gotten the current situation very clearly. We've gotten to the desired situation very clearly. And then we get them to admit the problem. Oh, bro, this is the problem. This is stopping me. So we want to listen for one of these 3. Sometimes it's a combination of 2. Sometimes it might even be 3, right? So they might be like, yeah, man, like I've been trying, but like I just don't think I can do it. Like I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do, right? So then he's kind of doing it like I can't do it myself. He's kind of giving you that type of energy. Or he will say, bro, like I know how to do it, but like I want to get there faster. Like I know how to get to 10K a month, but I want to get there faster. So he might say something like that. Or he'll just give you like he'll be like, bro, like I'm not sure like how to even do it. You know, I don't think I know how to lose weight. I haven't understood it. And you can always be like, you can kind of listen to them, ask them follow-up questions. And at some point, right, when they've given you a good amount, you can be like, bro, like correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're just not able to do it on your own. Is that right? Or am I wrong? They'll be like, yeah, bro. Or you would just be like, okay. So like, would you say it's more of like, you know what you want to do, but you want to get there faster? They'll be, yeah. Same with this, right? Okay, yeah, okay, bro. I completely get that. So you feel like you're lacking more of a proven system, and you would love like some guidance, someone who's actually done it, who's actually achieved the results. You would kind of want more of their help, want more of a proven system. Is that right? And they'll be like, yeah, yeah, awesome, right? You've kind of got them to admit it. And then we just segue into it. We go, okay, that makes sense. So I guess my next question, John, it's more about like, you're currently making 10K a month. Why not just stay where you are? So it might be like, okay, Bob, you're making, okay, Bob, you're at 80 kilos. Why not just stay where you are? So they would have like talked about this stuff before, right? Something they would have alluded to it, but we want to bring it back. What we've done is we've understood point A, we've understood point B, then we've taken them, admit to themselves, okay, here's the problem, and then we're kind of gonna be gaining commitment, bringing it all back in. Like, okay, bro, so why? Like, do you actually want to change? We're kind of almost testing them. We know they want to change. They know they want to change, but we're changing the frame a little bit, making them prove it to us. Like, oh yeah, bro, I do want to change. I am committed. So this is a very good question. Okay, and how's this affecting any other areas of your life? They'll be like, yeah, bro, I'm fat, and like my wife doesn't respect me. This doesn't happen, doesn't happen, right? They'll give you all of these reasons, and they'll share these things with you. So after they answer that with this, be very attentive, be listening, right? I should have said it for all these. You don't need to like, of course, listen, but you won't necessarily. You can just take notes of one of these three, right? You can be like, boom, it's this again. Hey, listen. What do they say? What problems do they say? What do they say to this question? It's gonna bring a lot of emotion. Be sincere. Listen to them. Understand them. Pay attention to them. Give them your entire attention, and then ask them, okay, bro. So when are you wanting to fix this? Now you might have noticed in my style, right? I say bro a lot. That might not be you. You just say these in a way that is right to you. That's just a side note. So I say, when are you wanting to fix this? Okay, I know they'll answer, no, bro, I want to fix it right now. I want to fix it 3 months from now. If they say, oh, like, I don't think I want to fix this right now. I think I want to wait for this reason for 2 months, right? Then you kind of want to challenge them on the thinking. So like, okay, but like, bro, you did tell me like you've got all these problems. Are you fine with like not making any progress? You're fine with like being broke for the next 3 months as well? And they'll be like, yeah, you're right, bro. Like, bro, are you fine with your wife not respecting you for another 3 months? What effect would that have on your marriage? You want to ask these questions, right, to get them on the right track, and they'll be like, yeah, damn, bro, I do want to fix this right now. But most of the time, people will say, yeah, bro, I want to fix this right now. And then you can go, okay, I know you wanted to fix this right now, but how committed are you actually to making this happen, right? You basically just, again, it's more of a testing question. The responses to these questions, they're always going to bring in an emotional drivers, right? Very, very powerful things. Like, things like being a single mother, I really need to help my family, or I'm going through a divorce. There's always going to be like, you're going to discover almost always a powerful reason behind why somebody wants to make more money and go through change. For you, it might be like, I want to lose weight. You'll understand the powerful reasons, right? You might have understood them here somewhere before, here at part 5, part 4. They might have just started off with that, but by this point in the call, you'll know their main driver. You'll know their powerful reasons, right? So we just have that. And then part 9, we just say, okay, I get that. I can definitely help you. Would you like me to tell you what exactly is it that I do? They'll be like, yeah, sure. You'll be like, okay, awesome. My area of expertise is blah, 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 blah. So here, you need to use your own like common sense, right? Like, okay, what do I do? You can just write this down in your script. So for example, with me, it will be something like, well, my area of expertise is, yeah, so sorry, I had to think about it. Well, my area of expertise is helping coaches or new Muslims who are new into business basically get to 5K a month, 10K a month by learning and by starting a digital product and leveraging social media. Whatever I would say, right? And then I would say, I typically work with Muslim men such as yourself. I sometimes say that. I'd be like, yes, like you, around the ages of 18 to 28, whatever their ages, I'll make sure that's in the range. And I help them to quit their 9 to 5s. I help them do this. I help them do that. Because because literally what we want them to think is, whoa, that's me. That's my situation right now. And I definitely want to achieve that result or whatever it is. So that's it. You say that and then you're like, that's what I do. Would you mind if I share what I'm offering specifically? that I think could be useful to you, they will say, yeah, of course, go with it. And then you basically state your offer, how it works, all that stuff. But you must talk about it at a high level and keep it vague. You don't want to like sit there for 5, 10, 15 minutes, 2, 3 minute pitch. Don't talk about like the processes or the features, anything like that, because that will trigger like their feature brain in your prospect, and you want to keep them fixated on the outcome. Do not mention the price or talking about like the price at all at this point. You just want them to think about like, oh, I'm situation A. In my current situation. I need to get to my desired situation. This is part. You want to kind of frame it as that. Any questions they have, they will just ask you. But don't get too much into it. Don't overthink it. And again, like this is the area of the script you'll have to write out yourself, because like everyone's service, offer, product is different. Write it out, practicing it in the mirror, and get the delivery to be perfect. Once you've pitched it clearly, just be quiet. At this point, they'll start asking questions about the service, like whether it's coaching, whatever it is, right? They will have these questions, and you can just answer them until they have like basically a clear understanding. They're gonna keep asking questions until they understand everything they need to understand in their own brain. So remember, it's your service, so you obviously have a better understanding than they do. It is natural that they ask questions. Don't like get scared or anything like that. You just need to, because we've talked about it at a high level, which is good. That's what we're gonna do. They'll have questions they need to fill the gaps with, right? Don't worry about it. Just answer them. Don't get scared or anything like, oh my God, why is he asking me that? Just be honest, just tell them the truth, and just go from there, right? When you answer these questions, again, it's important to avoid diverting the conversation. Just simply answer the question and be quiet again. Silence is key here. Talking less, being quiet will actually help you. So just answer the question simply. So for example, someone asks me, oh bro, how many calls will I get? You'll get 1 call a week with me, bro. Yeah, bro, you'll get 1 call a week with me, right? I'm not gonna say, yeah, you're gonna get 1 call a week with me, because like one call is enough. Like 1 call is really valuable. 1 call, no. It's just a simple question. I've answered it simply, and then I'm gonna shut up. That's it. Then he might have another question. He might have something else. Eventually, when they do run out of questions, they've asked everything they needed to know. Everything makes sense for them. Then they will ask you for like the price question. Now, there might be like sometimes an awkward silence, right? Like people are like, oh, like technically in sales they teach you, oh, don't bring up the price. Let them ask you for the price. But if they don't, right? Sometimes people don't. Sometimes people do. When it naturally makes sense to talk about the price, you can just say something like, well, I guess we can get into the elephant in the room. Would you want to talk about the price? Once they say, yeah, let's get into it, then just move into the next part. So you basically just state your offer, right? It's going to be a bit different. It's going to have some incentive-based pricing. You're going to have some upsells, downsells. Again, you've got the calls. We can just talk about that, right? But again, once you pitch them the price, you just want to shut up. Silence is key. Don't start talking about like this or that, right? I hope you don't get offended by me telling you to shut up. But like, just be quiet. Like, please, I promise you, I have done this, right? I've lost sales just by yapping too much. You just gotta be quiet, and you just gotta be like, okay. You tell them, yeah, bro, so there's 2 ways we can do it. I probably did this with you. There's 2 ways we can do it. You can either join the program for 12 months or 6 months. For 12 months, the price is $5,000, or what's it called? Or for 6 months, it's $3,000, $2,000, whatever it is. But here's the thing. I've added this thing, and I think this helps a lot. Once you've set the price there, right, you can either be silent, or you can be like, but bro, knowing your situation, knowing everything you've done, I would actually recommend the cheaper price. You can do that. That will build a lot of trust, because that's what we want them to buy mainly as well. What would you say? Or just shut up after that, right? Just tell them, okay, bro, you can do A or B. I would actually recommend the cheaper one just to build trust. What do you think? Which one are you leaning more towards? Simply put, just do that, and that's basically it. All right, boys, in this video, we're going to be going through specifically how to handle objections from a prospect when we are on a sales call and all that stuff, right? So let's first start with what an objection actually is. Simply put, an objection is anything a prospect says other than a yes after you've told them the price. Now, basically, there are 2 main reasons that objections pop up. 1, the prospect isn't certain about you. Number 2, the prospect isn't certain about your product. You see, people buy based on how certain they are about 2 things. those two things, right? And during your pitch, they might only have a certainty score of 5 out of 10, right? So if you've gone through the whole process, they found you from, like, they're on the call with you, you're asking them questions, and when you're pitching them, you're telling them about your product, they're only halfway certain. So when you tell them the price, they give you an objection. And I want you to understand, this is completely fine. Objections are part of the game. You should literally expect them. That's completely fine. The whole reason we are on a sales call, the whole reason we have the sales call is so we can handle those objections live right there. Because our ability to handle these objections, we can increase the certainty of the prospect and get them to close. So don't ever get stressed or disheartened that, he said this or he gave me this objection. It actually makes sense for them to give you an objection, because think about it. They're not as familiar with your coaching service as you. So they're not as certain. It's as simple as that. They literally need more information, and they have to have their certainty increase. So this is our perfect opportunity to do so. Also, you should know, objections aside, sometimes people can genuinely not buy from you. This could be because they genuinely don't have the money, but obviously I'm going to share a framework to sort stuff like that out. But yeah, there might be, let's literally go through some objections you might get, right? But before we go there, I don't know why I've stated it like that, but before we go there, every objection and the exact way to handle it, let's actually talk about the first principle of objection handling. This is something you're going to be basically doing in every objection. So even when I explain it to you here, the script, the word tracks and all that, it's going to be basically built on this. So whenever we get an objection, we need to first affirm to the prospect that we understand them. Imagine you're talking to someone and they completely just disregard what you said. So imagine you and I are on a call and you say, yeah, Zain, I love the product, but I can't afford it. Imagine if I was bro, you should still buy it. I don't care if you can afford it or not. You should still buy it. You'd be like, bro, this guy doesn't even care about me. This guy isn't even listening to me. So the first thing we do is we make them feel heard. We make them feel understood. So there's going to be, you'll see this in the word tracks below. But we let them, we don't agree to it, but we make them feel understood. We don't say, yeah, bro, it's expensive, so you shouldn't buy it. We say, okay, I understand how you might think it's expensive. You know what I mean? So we make them feel understood, number one, and you can say it by literally saying it back to them, and you'll see how we do it. But secondly, we want to ask them a question around their objection, or tell them a story to break the objection. So again, you will see what exactly we do. Usually we just ask them another question, reframe it and stuff like that. So from there, when we've asked them a question, we loop it back to the sale, the dream result, how our product is going to get them to their desired situation, right? So remember, back in this chapter, we talked about current situation, desired situation. So at the very end, we loop everything back to the sale, to the product, and how this will basically help them achieve their results, right? Get over their struggles, all of this. I know it sounds confusing. Let's actually see it in action. So these are some of the objections you will get, right? So objection 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the objections you will get. Inshallah, you might get something out of the ordinary, but 90% of the time it is this, right? And again, if you use the first principle I've just taught you, and it will make sense, you'll be completely fine. Okay, so let's get straight into the first objection. When they say, I need to think about it. So you're going through the whole sales process, you've been following the script, and they say, yeah, bro, I need to think about it. Obviously you've told them the price at this point, right? So basically, when they say this, it could mean quite a few things. As honestly, this is just a massive smoke screen, and it's an excuse for them to get off the call. They don't want to make the decision. They're a bit afraid or whatever it is. They just want to get off the call. So our goal is to find out the real reason they wanted to think about it, and then handle that specific objection. So it would look something like, of course, John, I completely get why you would want to think about it. In fact, I would actually encourage you to think about it, because I want this to be a good fit for everyone, which is why I hop in these sales calls, or don't say sales calls, why I hop on these calls in the first place. So, John, while I'm still on the call and you have the chance, what questions or concerns do you have that are unanswered? So number one, you see how I'm using their name. People love hearing their name. Even if you don't say that, right? I to be honest, I hardly use the names, But I will say, of course, bro, like I completely get you. Why would you think I completely get why you need to think about it. In fact, I would actually encourage you to think about it, right? So I'll just get straight into it, and you can hear the tonality and all that stuff, right? Do what is natural to you. We talked about in the first module, right? Say you don't have to act like someone else. You can just be yourself. So say this in your own words, in your own way, but don't obviously change it around too much. But like say it in a very similar way. Say in a way you would say it in real life, and just number one, actually care. Just make them feel understood, and then you can go like, okay, so while I'm not still on the call and you have the chance, what questions or concerns do you have that are unanswered? Basically, at this point, when you ask them this question, this will lead to them giving you another objection, because I need to think about it, it's just a smoke screen, right? They might give you something about like time, whatever it is, right? They'll say something else. That is just a smoke screen. So literally, they will give you another objection, and it's completely fine. As I've said before, that's not a problem, right? Objections are part of the game. It's completely natural. Just because you're getting objections, it doesn't mean you've done something wrong. They might give you, I need to think about it, and they will be saying, oh, I can't afford it. Something like that, right? So let's say that happens. They say, oh, yeah, I just can't afford it. With an objection like this, with an objection mainly around price, there's one main thing we need to figure out, which will allow us to handle the objection and sell them back onto the program. You see, when someone gives you an objection around price, they either don't see the value in it and they just aren't sold on you or the product, or they don't have the money and genuinely can't afford it. So we need to figure this out by literally just saying, okay, John, I get you. Tell me, is it a case that you 100% believe in me and my products can help you get to your goal? So for me, and we'll be like, for example, like, do you think me and this product can help you get to your goal, or like to get you to 5K a month, to 10K a month, to escaping your 9 to 5, and you just don't have the money? But if you did, you would buy? Or is it the case that you do have the money, but you don't completely see the value in it? So we're letting them pick the two buckets they want to fall into. Either they trust us, they believe in us, the product, and they know it will get us results, and the only thing stopping them is the money, or they just don't like believe in the product, they don't see the value in it, okay? So once they'll give you an option, right? They'll go, oh no, honestly, like you can literally just be here, like, and be honest, man. Be honest, bro. No pressure or something like that, right? You can just be like, yo, be honest, man. It's all good. You want to have that energy at this part of the call, anyways. So they say something like that. If they say they can't afford it because they're lacking funds, right? Then we just need to understand their financial situation and figure out a way to help them. Very, very simple. You from there goes use something like, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. You know the product will get you results and it can help you. And if you had the money, you would do it, right? So they will be like, yeah, man, like I really like the product. You can follow up with another question, right? So like, tell me, man, like money aside, what is it that you like about the product? You can use lines like that as well, right? If you really want to. It kind of reaffirms and they start selling the product to themselves. You put them into that frame. From here, they answer this question. They say yes. All right, John, I'm going to be very honest, right? And the tonality here is very, very important, right? Like I'm kind of slowing things down. I'm being a bit quieter as well. Like literally pay attention. I'm getting a bit quiet. So like I'll say something like, naturally, I'll just say something like, all right, bro, I'm going to be honest. Like you are a really good fit for the program. And like, I know that this will help you. When you come into this program, I know you will get the results. This will help you to make the money, escape your 9 to 5, all that good stuff. So like, I don't do this, but would you mind sharing a bit more about perhaps your financial situation so we can work some sort of payment plan out so you do get all of the help you need to get to 5K a month? I'll say something like that, right? I'm still kind of, did you see the tonality, the way I slowed things down, the way I got a bit quieter? That's kind of, you'll get that with time. But if you genuinely care, if you are convinced that you can help them, it will naturally come. You don't need to be autistic enough to think about it like me, but like this will come to you naturally. And again, you can use word for word this. Do you notice how this is what's in my script, but I've kind of still said it differently because I still want it to be natural, right? We want it to sound natural, not that we're reading it out loud, because it's not actually the words that matter a lot. A lot of it is just the tonality and how you say it, and that will just come from you actually caring. That will just come from you actually just like understanding and trying to understand them. So to this, if they genuinely are down, right, they probably would be at this point. They'll be like, oh yeah, they'll say yes, how will that work, etc. Right? Um, they'll say yes to the financial situation, like yeah, bro, I don't mind sharing. By this point, if you follow the script, right, you have we actually you might not have an idea of how much they're making. With my script, it does, but if you're like fit weight loss, you wouldn't know how much they're making in the month, right? So just ask them, okay, bro, how much are you making a month? How much are your expenses? How much do you have in savings? So maybe they say, oh, bro, I'm making 3K a month. I'm spending 2K. I only have 1K in savings because I just bought a tire or whatever they did, right? So let's say they have 1K right now. They're gonna have another 1K by the end of the month because that's what they're saving. Maybe you just start them off with like, if they only have 1K in the bank, your product is 1K. Okay, that's fair enough, right? They don't really want to spend all of it. Maybe you just say, okay, bro, what we can do is a split pay. So you can do 500 today, 500 30 days from now. So they have 2K-ish or 1,500 by then, and they can easily pay you. I don't like putting people in like a uncomfortable situation financially, right? I just don't think it's very ethical. So obviously, I'm not going to take all of their money, right? If they only have 1.3K, I'm not going to take 1.3K. I'll take like 1K. I'll take like literally just 1K or maybe a bit less, right? So kind of figure it out like that, and then just offer them that payment plan, work with them, just kind of also build that relationship, right? Like, okay, I'm going to trust you on this, that. You want to kind of have that tonality and kind of make it seem like you are doing them a favor, right? Because we really are. We're letting them on a payment plan, and we're letting them really have like, letting them get access to it for technically a little bit of a discount, but collect as much cash upfront as possible. Try, like, again, if it's 2K product, try to collect as much of the 2K as you can, right? This will make them committed as well. It's also just good for business trying to collect as much cash upfront as possible. So just focus on that. And in the case the prospect says they don't see the value in the program, now is the perfect time to resell them on not only yourself, but also the program, your product, right? So fundamentally, you need to increase the certainty on you, your product, and your intentions. Very, very simple. So let's say they say something like, so they say, oh, bro, I just don't see the value in it, whatever, right? You just be like, I completely get that, bro, and I appreciate your honesty. Now, let me tell you why I 100% believe that this is the best decision you can make. Because look, I'm not some random guy that just got off the street just trying to make a quick buck, right? I'm being honest with you. I'm someone who knows this industry inside out. I'm a student of the game. Look at this book I have on my desk, right? I've been reading it. I'm learning and keeping up to date with my education. And look, you know you want to get to 5K a month. I know with confidence this will help you get there. And I can assure you I will work extremely hard and deliver on everything I promise to get you the results. So you basically just want to, number one, look at the tonality, how I increase my voice a little bit, how certain I sound. You kind of want to do the same as well, right? And this will help. Just having conviction in yourself, I talk about this a little bit later as well. Having conviction in yourself will help you a lot. If you just like, bro, let's be honest. If someone pays you 1K, if someone pays you 2K, if someone even pays you $500, right? You at this time, you're going to work very, very hard to make sure they're happy, to make sure they get results. So show that to them. Show that, yeah, bro, I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. This is going to be worth it. If people just hear you truthfully, just having conviction, being honest, they will start to see the value in it, right? From here, they might say like, but yeah, bro, like I also can't afford it. I'm low on funds right now. And then you just offer them a payment plan. Something like that, right? You say this and then you can just be like, so bro, tell me, how can we make it work? You might use their name, right? So John, tell me, how can we make it work? I just like to say, bro, it's just kind of my style. But so bro, how can we make it work? Then it puts it back onto them, right? They're a bit more convinced. They might say something else. They might give you another objection, wherever it is, right? But that's kind of like, they might literally just buy as well from there, okay? So it's just one of those things. Go with the flow of it. Don't overthink it. Just have conviction in yourself. Say the right things. Follow these objections. You'll do good, inshallah. Number 3. They say it's too expensive. So this is a bit similar to this, right? Like here they didn't see the value. Here it's too expensive, right? Oh, it's $2,000. Honestly, you might get this sometimes, right? But here you basically want to get like, okay, bro, I completely get $3,000 could be a big ask on my end. But what you want on your side is also a big ask. If you genuinely built a business that brought in 10K a month and allowed you to reach your goals, right? Retire your mom. Wouldn't that be worth it to you? Of course it will, right? So yes, you do have to make the initial $3,000 investment. And I know, like, it will sting at first. I've been there too. But in the long term, this is not a decision that you will regret. So that's kind of like, so that's how you want to do it, right? Again, we're agreeing it to them. Then we're kind of like asking them a question. They don't even need to answer this, right? It doesn't matter. You go straight into, of course it would, bro. Like, of course, come on, look at the value. And then you just say, like, you link it back to their goals as well, right? Link it back to what they actually want. Oh, I want to retire my mom. Oh, I want to lose weight so I can get married. Whatever it is, right? You kind of want to link it back to that, and it's as simple as that. So from here, again, you can say this, and then you can just ask a question like, how can we make it work? So that's why I like to ask. You can say, so what do you think about that? So what are your thoughts on that? But I like to just do, how can we make it work? It just assumes that they're closed, right? It just assumes that they're already sold, and they're ready to buy. They might not be. They might come back and still ask you something else or say something else. It's completely fine. We can do it again, right? We can, again, agree with them, affirm it, ask them a question, tell them a story, show our conviction, and then loop it back to where they want to get to, and then do it again. It's completely fine. Number 3, how much time do I have to make a decision? This is, again, going to probably lead to another objection, which is fine. Just simply ask them, how much time do you need to decide? We don't need to say anything more. Someone asked me, how much time do I have to make a decision? Oh, how much time do you need to decide, bro? Simple, just curiosity. I'm just asking the question back to them. I've got a little bit of a smile on my face, whatever they say, right? They'll give me a certain time figure. Oh, I need 1 day. Oh, I need 1 week. Then just ask, is there something in particular you need to do or think about that we can discuss right now? From here, they'll just give you another objection. Oh, yeah, man, like the price. I'm just not sure how about the price. It's a bit too expensive, right? Boom, you go into this. You say this, and they're like, yeah, man, I completely get that. It's just like, I don't have like the funds right now. Then you just go into this. You figure out a payment plan, you take the money, you close them. Simple. With time, they might say something like, this is something you can avoid, right? Average salespeople, they'll fall into this trap, right? They won't tie the prospect down, not in a weird bad way, but you want to following the script, right? So if I show you the sales script that is here somewhere, if we go down at the very last, if we go down literally here, right, at part 8, okay, and when are you wanting to fix this? You can even ask questions like, do you have the time to fix this, right? You'll have an idea, but you can literally be like, okay, when are you wanting to fix this? How much time can you give to fixing this? How much time can you dedicate to fixing this problem? You might want to say, how much time can you dedicate to achieving X, to achieving your goal, to achieving 5 kilos of weight loss, whatever it is, right? When you ask these 2 things, they won't pop up again. If they do, you literally just be like, okay, bro, so like, what's it called? You said to me earlier on the call that this is something you wanted to fix right now and you didn't want to delay it. What's changing your mind? Is it like you're a bit afraid of the commitment, or is it something else? And then they'll just be like, oh yeah, man, like, it's just the price, whatever they say, right? They might give you another objection. So simply just deal with it. They might say, oh, I don't know how much time this will take, or whatever it is, right? Because we've already asked them, bro, do you have like 6 hours a week to put to this? And they answered yes, or whatever it is, right? They'll be like, yeah. You'll be like, no, bro, you already said to me. Don't say no, bro. They'll be like, yeah, I completely get your concerns. But you've already said to me you have like 8 hours a week you do want to dedicate to solving that problem and achieving your goals. And bro, that's all it's going to take. It's actually going to take only 4 hours a week of service, because I've designed my product and program to only be able to help you in less than 4 hours. You just say something like that and get them back in the sale, right? Before we finish off, remember, not every sales call is supposed to close, and that's completely fine. We want at least 20% of our calls closing, so like 1 in 5 calls close, right? 5 prospects come in, they're all qualified, you get on the call, you pitch them, 1 in 5 close. That's actually a good close rate. You don't need to be like insecure, right? Think about it, like the other 4 that don't close, we don't care, it's fine. Of course, like you can follow up with them and stuff like that, but if those 4 don't close, that's completely fine, that's all good. If you follow this framework, a 20% close rate will be easy for you, inshallah, especially what we're going to discuss in marketing and everything. This will be easy for you. So don't worry about it, inshallah. You're going to crush it. Just follow the script, follow the thing, and inshallah we'll finish this chapter off in 3.5. I'll see you there. Alright boys, this is the last module for sales. Look, sales is going to be fun. Sales is going to be easy. The script is attached below. You can literally just open it up, literally make a file, copy it, etc. onto your own and just edit it. Let's quickly talk about how you need to edit it. So just think about like, yeah, these will basically stay the same, right? It's just more these questions that are going to change. You can keep the ones that were there before, just change them up. So bro, are you working right now? Are you studying? Are you looking to lose weight? Or are you going to the gym right now? Are you looking to go, whatever it is, right? Have you started learning Arabic yet? Or are you planning to learn? Something like that. You get that, like this, some questions will stay the same. Other questions you just need to change for your niche. Just use your common sense, right? So you wouldn't ask, how much money are you making per month with business right now? You would just ask like, okay, bro, so how many calories are you eating a day right now? How much weight are you trying to lose a day right now? Okay, but are you actually able to lose that much weight? Oh, you're not losing that weight. Why do you think is that? What is that doing for other areas of your life? Oh, your wife thinks you're not attractive. Okay. So you want to change these up, right? You want to like have them for your niche, the questions you would want to ask. And the principle is the same. You want to gather data, you want to cause pain. Simple as that. Of course, cause pain. Don't think about it in a weird way. We're not going to like try and stab them or anything. But we're just trying to like make them feel their current situation clearly, right? That was the first principle. Make them feel their current situation, point A, very clearly, and make them feel their desired situation very clearly. So at the very end of part 5, right, we want to specify where they are right now. So like, if it's a money thing, it's like, how much money are you making right now? If it's a weight thing, what's your weight right now? And then we go to, what do you want your weight to be? So instantly creating the gap, right? Okay, I'm at 88 kilos. I want to be at 80 kilos. We've talked about this a bit before as well. But just figure it out for your niche. You can be like, okay, what is your motivation for getting to $8? I'm sorry, not $8. For getting to 8 kilos, 80 kilos. What is your motivation for learning Arabic? Oh, you want to do it so you can get an Arabic wife. Whatever it is, bro. Whatever BS they want to say, just fit it to your niche, and inshallah you will be fine. You will be smashing it. So, part 7. Again, like it's going to be, you're at 80 kilos, you want to be at 85, etc., etc., right? Same with this. Just change it up a little bit, and inshallah you'll crush. This will work. Just take some time and practice it as well, right? Practice you going through it and everything like that. And yeah, very simple. Remember, again, it's easy, it's fun. You'll get better at it with practice and reps. Practice your pitch, write out your pitch. Just do the repetitions, put everything in. And one last thing I'll leave you with, I think I mentioned this in the last module as well. Always have conviction in yourself and your product to help your customer. This will basically allow you to naturally do the right thing on the sales call. And this will basically allow you to absolutely crush, inshallah. With that, that's basically all you need to do, learn for sales. Just go out there, practice, put the reps in, you will get better, and you'll be closing leads and deals in no time, inshallah. All right, now that you've gone through the sales mastery modules, let's actually talk about how you're going to land a role. Because obviously you've developed the skill set of skills, you understand it. I'll quite frankly be very honest with you, you should still look to get more training. And if you do want more training, just book a call below. I will exclusively personally work with you to train you up, and will also get you placed and land a role for you. But the following are basically modules from my program breaking down exactly how you can land a role. And again, if you want help getting placed and help getting trained up and becoming elite at high ticket sales, just book a call below. All right, in this module, let's go over specifically how to land a role. And there's going to be different things we're going to cover. Let's go straight into like number 1, choosing the right business to work with. And this is actually very, very crucial. It's very important. And a lot of people don't think about this. If you're working for someone whose product is a scam, quite frankly, like you're selling something that isn't getting people results and it's just not good. Number 1, it's super immoral. Us as Muslims, like obviously we don't want to be like scamming people, right? That's number 1. Number 2, it's going to hurt your sales. It's going to hurt your skill set because you're not going to have conviction on the call, even if you decide to sell for them, right? And it's important that we have a good business we work for that actually get good results. They're good people, they have morals. And the best way to analyze a business is to just research things like how long they've been in business for, what type of results, testimonials they have, look at reviews online, And you want to see what type of reviews they're getting. Like, have they just paid someone like $5 for a video testimonial? Have they done just like random stuff, like it's not credible. And you want to actually analyze and study the results they're getting as well. And yeah, just see how that, look at Reddit as well. Of course, look, every business, there's, especially in the info space, when you're selling some form of like information, right? There's going to be some people that have good reviews, but they also have like one or two bad reviews as well, right? That's an example. But it's okay. Like, obviously, they're going to have bad stuff being said as well. But if majority of it seems okay, then go for it, man. It should be fine. Secondly, let's actually talk about the power of personal branding, because building your own personal brand can be one of the most important and powerful things you do in 2025. There's a reason you see so many successful people that are like multi-millionaires. They already have successful businesses, but they still build up their personal brands. It's because it will give you so much leverage and massively help you if you do want to get into business for yourself. But if you just want to get more roles, you want to get better responses, all of that will help you so much in every area of life, specifically your business. This is why obviously we've got an entire chapter coming up on personal branding and content creation. But for now, here's some things you can kind of fix on your profile, specifically with Instagram, because that's kind of where you're going to be doing outreach. But just have a profile with, number one, your face in it, so they know who you are, what you kind of look like. Clear picture, clear name. And no like funny usernames, nothing like weird. Have your name in there. Like, whenever I get messages from people, and if they have no profile picture, if they've got a random name, I just think like, what bimbo is this? Like, who are you, bro? Especially if they're trying to sell me something. Like, particularly when they are trying to sell me something, I'm like, bro, what is going on? If they're just a normal person, like I'm doing outreach to them, then that's completely fine. But if someone's trying to sell me something, or like trying to give me like editing services, and I don't see their name, I don't see their face or anything, like I trust them significantly less. Of course, if it's your personal account, you don't need a profile picture, do whatever you want. But when we're using it for business, when we're doing outreach, it's very, very important that you have your face, you have your name in there. Number two, an optimized bio. Again, this is for business only, but you don't want any goofy stuff in there. You don't want your girl's initials in there. You don't want like some random date, or yeah, just keep it casual, just keep it normal. Maybe leave it empty. Maybe talk about yourself a little bit, like 21 Sydney, boom. Like, just keep it something smooth, keep it something simple, and just any low status or just low quality photos. Of course, like I know a lot of like other people, like non-Muslims, they'll have like them drinking, them partying. Obviously, you don't want to have that on your profile when you are doing outreach. So you want it to be something that shows that, okay, like I'm hardworking, I'm disciplined. So I had one guy reach out to me. He didn't actually have his face in his profile picture, which reduced trust. But yeah, he reached out to me, and I could see from his profile picture he was on the grind. He was showing that the books he was reading and the things he was doing. And I was like, okay, I actually respected him. I was like, okay, he's putting in the work, he's grinding, etc. I respected that, and he got a response from me. Also, last thing, do not have a private account. Again, you're using this for business opportunities, so yeah, don't need to have a private account. People need to go through it, see, and you'll just get better responses. You want to, at the end of the day, come across as a professional who's focused on his work, who gets the job done. Still, like I said with the kid, right? Show your productive hobbies, the different things you're doing. Oh, I'm reading books, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm traveling to this country. Whatever you've done, kind of come across as a bit cool. Again, you don't need to do anything crazy, but just simple stuff. And when you do start posting, post valuable content. And personally, sell them on you. Share your story. Document your journey. Document what you're doing in a day. And just by like overall providing value, you'll attract opportunities rather than you chasing them. Now, let's actually talk about how to find businesses and clients. So first, sit down, just pick a few niches you want to work with. So the main niches are obviously like business, finance, like fitness, relationships. Those are the main ones, right? But you want to be a bit more narrow, right? Because in business, in general, there's like e-com coach, Airbnb, content coach, this coach, that coach. And again, there's stuff like spiritual stuff as well, right? Like Arabic coach, marriage coach, and you don't necessarily need to search up coach, but it doesn't. We'll do this together. Just pick a few niches. So let's say I want to do Muslim fitness coach, for example. Muslim fitness. Okay, boom. We've got this guy that comes up. Okay, sweet. You could probably outreach to him. He's got 6K followers. Maybe it will be a good fit. Another thing that works is actually just going like this. So you'll have a lot more people come in. Okay, let's reach out to this guy. That can be in your list. And on the laptop it's a bit harder, but on the phone you can just start following these guys, and we'll go over specific strategies. Okay, let's do this guy. Maybe you want what's it called, an ecom coach. Ecom, yeah, let's say this guy used to have an agency course. Anyways, I used to watch him back in there. That's funny. Anyways, let's say you reach out to this guy again, then you can do the plus thing, and now you're gonna have more ecom coaches. So this way you can find like easily, like there's hundreds and hundreds of these people, thousands of them, right? And you want someone who's got DM start to learn more. Okay, now he's got a setter in there. Make money, build freedom. So very clearly he's selling some form of info product. You know, you can see it. Santiago, whatever. Yeah, clearly he's selling something. He's got a link tree as well to, it's pretty unoptimal, but anyways, he's selling something. Again, let's go this guy, Jose, whatever. Join our Discord to learn our proven scaling methods. Okay, so he's definitely selling something, but he's not having a setting person. Like there's no like keyword. He might still need a salesperson. He might need a closer. So it's still worth giving a message, right? Let's go this guy. I post the full behind the scenes here. So I wouldn't really go for him. He doesn't have that much clout, and I'm not sure if he's actually selling anything. But yeah, that's kind of how you can actually find businesses in the first place. It's pretty simple. Instagram's pretty powerful. And yeah, that's basically it. You can start outreaching to people from here. And it is a numbers game. But I want you to understand that you don't want to just spam volume. You want to have high quality messages. You don't want to just be copy pasting stuff. You can, but it's not going to be the highest ROI because you won't stand out. Like I know when someone just pastes a message, right? And I'm like, bro, like I lose respect. You're not going to get a response that way most of the time. But the way you can stand out from everyone else trying to just pitch their business to this business owner, right? Like, oh, I'll edit for you. I'll do XYZ for you. I'll set for you. I'll close for you. You want to have basically a higher chance of them responding to you. And the best way to do that is actually by providing some value. It's by building kind of an actual relationship. You know, you might follow someone. You don't need to message them the first day, right? You got to have riz with it, boys. You can't just be like, oh, you know, like imagine like, yeah, just don't be super needy for it. You can if you're really desperate, but I would want to have more riz with it. Maybe you send a certain message where you're giving value. Hey John, I saw XYZ and I think you should actually improve it by this because I think that has worked well for us, even though if you don't work for someone else. Just kind of give value, learn the game, right? And that's why we even have a module on going over certain like terms to help you understand, like, okay, this is the industry language. Regardless, we'll talk more about that anyways. Give some value. Hey John, not sure if your sales team does this already, but just sending a short 5 to 10 minute pre-call video 24 hours before the call, I've seen improves the show up rate and the call quality. Just a tip that has worked really well for us. When you're giving them value like that, they're gonna like you more, you know? They're just going to trust you more. You're going to get more responses. And then there's always risk to it as well. Maybe you reply to a story. You send an initial message, they don't respond. You reply to a story. Oh, I love this place. Ha ha ha. You make a funny joke. Just be yourself. Have riz with it. It's so important to have riz with it. A lot of these guys are like basically like famous girls, right? They're getting tons and tons of DMs, tons and tons of like just people trying to reach out to them, trying to get their attention, trying to work with them. But if you have riz, if you got a good profile and you can just make it work, and following up is so key as well. Like I know I'm going to talk about it later as well, but following up is so key because you're showing that skill set that you will be following up for them for their sales team, but you're following up with them. They're gonna like it more. There's a guy in my DMs who followed up, who's, I don't even know how many times he's followed up with me anymore. Like, it's got to be more than 10. But I know that I'm gonna hire him at one point when I need his certain services, because he's just a G. He's hustling. He's a killer. He's been trying to get work with me for like months now. It just doesn't make sense right now. But whenever I need his services, he's the first person I'm gonna reach out to, because he's a G. He's got that hustler mindset. He's in the trenches. He's following up. He's being clever with the follow-ups as well. I respect it. So it's the exact same thing with you, especially because this is sales. When you follow up with people, they're going to be like, damn, he's going to follow up with my leads like this as well. Oh, he's a G, he's a killer. Let me talk to him. Let me give him a chance. Let me hop on a quick interview with him. Super, super powerful. Also, you can apply in different websites. You can literally just go search up high ticket sales role. So like, let's go on Seek, right? That's kind of like the one here in Australia. I know like other places have Indeed, but literally you can find ones. I want it to be remote. This is actually how I landed my first role. It was literally just through here. And you kind of want to look for one that's like in the education space, something like that. We won't go through it right now, but you'll literally find places like that where it's remote. You're selling some form of, basically like a course or something a bit different. But yeah, that's super powerful as well. And the best thing here is basically to have kind of still a high quality like application, right? So I'll show you, I can just show you right here. So I got an interview, I remember, with this guy's team. So he's pretty big on Instagram. Yeah, I remember like, but they wanted, it wasn't remote. They wanted me to move cities, whatever. But I got an interview with him because when I applied to work with them, he has a very certain type of copywriting style. And I used his copywriting style in my cover letter. So I was clever with it. I was very confident. I had arrogance. I showed like, I was like, I'm a G, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to close really well for you, etc., etc. And I basically wrote a cover letter, and they responded to me pretty quickly. They got back to me right, and they wanted to, like, they were interested, right? Because my cover letter was different. I used his exact style, the way he writes his sales pages, the way this guy talks, and they respected me. It was for this company. And yeah, you got to be a bit clever. You got to have a bit more, just show that you actually care, show that you actually put in some effort, and you'll get rewarded for it. After, like, you can even apply on the job site, but then reach out to the business on their email, right? You message them on Instagram. Let's say you applied for them. You message them here on Instagram, because they're probably not getting that many messages. Even though it's a lot of followers, this is just like an account like in general, right? So they're probably not getting a lot of messages. Maybe you search up King Kong sales manager. Literally, you do that. You could literally go find the person they're hiring and manager. Look, we found Michelle. I don't know who that is, but let's say she works there, right? Won't go into detail, but let's say she works there. Now you can message her, hey Michelle, you can connect with her on LinkedIn. Hey Michelle, I saw that you guys were hiring. I would love to work with you. I can do XYZ. And you kind of just reach out to them, try your shot. You reach out to a couple of different people. I remember Alex Hamuzi talking about like how one time they hired this 18-year-old kid who had reached out to everyone in the company, people who weren't even in the sales department, and just reached out to them, just getting in front of people. And eventually people were like, who is this kid? Reaching out to everyone in the company, and they hired him. If you do that stuff and you go above and beyond and you just show grit, you show that, yeah, I'm a G, I'm willing to put in the work, and you go that extra mile, you will get rewarded for it eventually. Now, let's actually talk about what these businesses are looking for, because that will allow you to show them that as well. All businesses fundamentally lack good sales talent. It's just an industry thing, right? So if you can show that you have certain traits, you are so much more likely to be given an interview and to be hired. And one of the best things you can do is move with speed. Reply back to them fast. Maybe they want a Loom video or this or that. Be fast with it. Be quick with it. Have urgency. And whatever action steps they give you, follow them to the T, but also fast. Follow up consistently, like we talked about before, right? you want to follow up maybe 8 to 10 times. But obviously keep it high quality, not spammy, and just continue providing value. Maybe you say this first, like, oh, you should do this. Then you give them another tip. Then maybe you just say, you reply to a story saying something funny. You ask a question. Whatever it is, you have riz with it. You follow up with it. Not in a needy way, but in just a high quality, high, like, classy way where they're like, oh, okay, I respect that because he's hustling. I like that mindset. Thirdly, show confidence and almost be arrogant in a way. Bro, people love an arrogant sales rep. People want an arrogant sales rep. They want their, like, if you're getting in sales, which you are, do not be humble. Like, do not be like, haha, yeah, I'm okay. No, I'm the best there is. Your sales records, I'm gonna destroy them. Who's the dork? Who's your best top closer right now? I'm gonna destroy him, because sales is very competitive. And if you can just show that self-belief, you can show that arrogance and conviction in your own abilities. And I don't mean that to be arrogant, like, oh, I'm better than people, and like in a negative way. Perhaps maybe a little bit. Of course, like, we're Muslims and we want to be humble to an extent, but just show that confidence in yourself. Like I've literally said, like, I'm excited to be your top closer, and people are like, start giving me like, oh, let's hop in an interview, blah blah blah. So it's very, very important to just have conviction in your own skill set and sell them on you. If you have so much belief in your own self that you can help them, they're just going to be like, wait. This guy is so, like, confident. He must know something I don't. Let me just give him a chance. So have that, and that will help you, inshallah. Number 5, how to actually close the client. Once you've landed an interview with them, you want to take some time to research the client before the call, before the actual call, before the interview. Research more about what their audience is, their offer, their funnel, how are they getting clients, what they're doing. You kind of want to study it, right? So when you are on the call, you can show that you actually do care about their business and you want to help them grow. Because fundamentally, no one cares about you. They only care about themselves. And if you can show, hey, I care about you as well. I care about your business. I want to help you grow. Because they're not hiring to pay your bills. They're hiring you so you can get them more money, so you can help them grow. So having that mindset and showing that you care will help you a lot, and they will just like you more. You will have such a higher chance of getting hired and of you closing them, because you've shown that you cared. And of course, you've shown this stuff as well, right? You have confidence and all that stuff. Also, do not be needy or desperate. I know we talked about like following up, etc., but you never want to come across needy and desperate. It's so important to act out of abundance. There are so many different roles. There's so many different jobs. You have so many options. You don't need to actually be so desperate for this one role. Allah will provide for you anyways. You just need to trust in His timing, trust the process. And of course, keep putting in the work, keep putting in the actions. And literally, when you will come across this needy energy, it's just going to turn people off. They're not going to want to work with you. They're going to be like, oh, what's wrong with this guy, whatever. Also, use industry terms. If you can speak their language, they'll be like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's done this before. He's been here before. Even if you don't have any sales experience, if you can speak their role, speak their language, they'll be like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. They'll trust you more, and you can have a better conversation with them. You can also offer to do a role play right there. Ask questions back. Answer with conviction. Like, okay, they do like give you an objection, you handle it because you've learned it from here, blah blah blah. You talk about the different sales frameworks you've learned. All of that stuff is really going to help you, inshallah. You can even ask questions like, what does your sales process look like? How do you generate leads? So, hey John, yeah, I saw your guys' sales process. I saw that they were messaging you a keyword, and it's mainly, I'm guessing, you set in the DMs and then you book a call, right? Is that how it works? Tell me a bit more about it. And then, do you also send like a VSO in between, blah, blah? You just ask them these questions and they're like, oh, okay, he knows what he's talking about. So that's pretty good. Bring energy and clarity. You want to have a positive attitude. Don't be nonchalant. Don't be like, haha, whatever. Positive attitude. Don't be goofy, of course, but nice smile. Make them get a positive vibe from you. Give off positive energy. And yeah, just even with your tonality, that will show, right? Hey, like, I actually care about you. Hey, it's good to speak to you. How are you, man? Blah, blah, blah. and then at the end just close them. By this point, if you've done all of this right, they should feel pretty confident working with you, and you'll be able to tell where you stand with anything. So they might even tell you, okay, bro, I'll hire you, whatever. And if you feel like there's a little bit of uncertainty, you can offer them a trial period if they need. Hey, I'll work with you for free. I'm so confident in my own abilities. I'm so confident that I can come in and not only be good for you and your business, but I can be so great that you don't even have to pay me until I get you paid. I'll work fully off commissions, and I'll just eat from what I hunt. Boom. They're gonna respect that. They're gonna like it, and you can go from there. I promise you, if you follow this process enough times, you'll have an abundance of just not any rules, but good quality rules as well. All right, module 5, building your own brand. So this is phase 2 of the roadmap I gave you. Phase 1, we were basically learning the high ticket sales. And by this point, you should be having a skill set where you're making 6 figures a year or even more. Quite frankly, I know people that make 7 figures a year. But from here, it's time to build your own brand and take things to the next level. And this will give you even more leverage, and your time will not be connected to the money you make. You could literally get paid to sleep, right? You don't need to be on calls to be making money. And you kind of become the company, you become the business. And alhamdulillah, from my experience, I found this to be more fulfilling. And again, you unlock 100% freedom. So here's the step-by-step process. Phase 1 is actually creating content and building your personal brand. Number 2 is actually going to be building the product you're selling. And then phase 3 is going to be selling the product and all that stuff. Now, let's actually talk about phase 1, creating content. Start documenting your journey today. Tell your story, your morals, and your values. And you basically want to sell yourself. You want to show like, this is my road to 10K a month with high ticket sales, whatever it is. And really just show the ups and the downs. Like, this happened, that happened. And you want to be basically giving value in an authentic way, where you're building up your personal brand, you're talking to these people, and you're just helping them. You're providing value to them. And you can basically pick 1 to 2 platforms and just focus on getting consistent. You don't need to be doing a lot. Maybe it's just, for now, it's 5 reels per week or 3 reels per week, where you're just providing value, you're telling your story, you're sharing your morals and values, documenting your journey, and you're just taking it slow while you work your sales job, while you develop your skill set of sales, and you basically take it from there. The second thing is actually going to be building your own product. And the first thing is basically figuring out what you're going to sell. And there's tons of digital products you can build at this stage. For a beginner, I would recommend a high ticket digital product. This is good because you will not have a huge audience. Not a lot of people will know you because you're building it up. And you can use your skill of high ticket sales from closing and everything we spoke about before, and that will translate very well into this. Firstly, you will need to find your niche and build your offer. So who you're going to help and how you're going to help them, what you're specifically going to give them. Now, the following are modules, again, from our program, and I will break down exactly how to find your niche and also how to build an offer that people pay anywhere from $5,000 or even more than $10,000. Again, the worksheets are in the description. All right, in this module, I'm going to be going specifically on like your niche, who you're going to help, and what you're going to help them with. So firstly, let's actually understand what a niche is, because like honestly, for so long, I didn't understand what that meant, right? It's basically, we're going to go into it. So as I've mentioned before, people have problems and people have pains, right? Because of those problems. They have current situations and desired situations. And this is the reason they buy. We discussed this like 2 modules ago. But the thing is that different people have different problems. Hence, they have different current situations and different desired situations. And the problem is our product can't solve multiple problems at the same time. So the problem is we can't solve multiple problems. So we need to decide on a group of people who are experiencing the same problem as each other, and they also want the same result. So this group of people, right, is basically what a niche is. Simply put, a niche is a specific person experiencing a specific problem. So for example, think about Muslim dads going through divorce. You can think about like Christian married men addicted to pornography, whatever it is, right? That's kind of like a specific type of person going through a specific type of problem. Now, you might be asking, Zain, why do I even need a niche? Number one, think about a specialist doctor, right? Compared to a GP. Who gets paid more? Who is even respected more? A brain surgeon, so a specialist doctor, he gets paid so much more than your normal doctor because he has specialized in one specific area of his field. He has specific knowledge to help a specific individual. And secondly, it's also easier to get people to buy from you. Imagine someone came up to you, mentioned to you the exact pains you're experiencing right now, and they can explain your current situation better than you could explain it, and also your desired situation. You will think, oh my God, this person understands me. You will trust them more, you will like them more, which will lead you to buy from them. And this is exactly why we're going to be doing, like, we're going to have a niche and what we're going to be doing with it. Even though we are targeting a smaller number of people, right? You could be targeting men who want to make money online, but you are targeting specifically Muslim married men who want to make money online so they can take their wives to honeymoons. That's like kind of like, it's a smaller group of people, but because it's a smaller group of people, your marketing, your messaging can be so much more specific that those people, that group of people, that niche thinks, oh, he's here to help me. And thirdly, it's easier to become the best at one thing than compared to multiple things at the same time, right? So it's easier to become like the best with mindset compared to becoming the best at mindset, the gym, the coaching thing, whatever, right? It's, as we all know, it's easier to be good at one thing than to be good at everything, right? Now, what common mistakes we should avoid when picking a niche, when doing this? Because I know a lot of people get stuck on this, right? Number one, I need you to understand, you're not marrying a niche. This isn't your wife. Don't overthink this. You can always pivot and change. I've pivoted and changed my niches. I know people are like, oh, you can't change a niche. It's fine. If you don't want to be in a specific niche after a little while, that's fine. You can change it up a little bit. And it doesn't need to be perfect the first time, especially when you're starting off. Your niche won't be the most perfect thing, right? It's fine. And also, don't worry about your lack of experience or knowledge. I'm basically going to teach you exactly how to become an expert in the niche in record time. And overall, just trust in yourself and trust in Allah. It only takes you like 20 hours to learn a skill, to like become like a top 80%, top 90% in a skill. So we just need to teach you how to do it, get you the skills, and you can do that, right? So don't have this limiting belief of, oh, I'm not like the most perfect, like I don't have the perfect physique, I don't know the most about the gym, I can't really get into a fitness. No. Don't think about it like that. You can become the expert, right? Don't worry about that. Number 3, don't choose something you wouldn't like genuinely want to do, because like the best thing about this business model, it's like it is about your main like interests, passions, right? That's what makes this stand out. That's what makes it powerful. And when you're not like genuinely interested in a niche, you would basically want to like not work as hard, right? You wouldn't want to go all in on it. You wouldn't deliver as good like client results or anything. So be passionate about it. And also, what's it called? Don't be like going around copying other people. You can take inspiration from people, but don't be like the exact copy of people, because like it might not be a good fit for you. Of course, like if it's a good fit for you, right? Maybe like there's another guy helping Muslim dads in 9 to 5s get jacked, and that's like what you want to do as well. Okay, sure, like is it copying? Yeah, kind of, but like not really, right? That's what you wanted to do as well. So I wouldn't say don't be afraid of copying, but don't just copy it randomly even though you don't want to do it, right? You just think, oh, this guy's making money, so let me just copy him. Don't do it like that. Just do it like, oh, this guy's doing that and I would love to do that as well. Okay, then bismillah. Yeah? Number 4, don't care about what other people will think. You're always going to be judged. People are always going to say stuff, right? Like, especially if you're brown, you'll understand, like with the aunties and everything. People are always going to judge you. You can either get judged as a rich man or a poor man. The choice is yours. It's pretty simple, right? Like, people are always going to yap. People are always going to talk crap. It's your decision to make it that they talk crap, that you're so rich and powerful and everything, or that you're just a poor little peasant and they're still judging you, okay? So, how do we actually pick a niche? You need to consider 3 things, and I'm going to give you a worksheet and everything. Number 1, industries you know, you've been in, you have like something, right? So this doesn't necessarily have to be like professional industries, right? Like places you worked at or anything like that. It can be like, for me, like for example, I've been in like, I've known this self-improvement industry on like YouTube for so long, right? I know about like mindset, like making money online as well. So many of these other stuff. For you, it might be like something to do with deen, right? You've like watched so many Islamic lectures. That's kind of like an industry, you know. Number two is skills you have or you can obtain. Again, it takes about 20 hours to like get a skill. So again, you don't need to be perfect at something. Let's say you might have been going to the gym, you might have been reading the Quran for a while and you got like perfect tajweed. Or even if you don't have perfect tajweed, you've got decent tajweed, right? You can still like, it's still a skill and you can make it better and whatever with time. Number three, you need to understand what does the niche desire and what are their problems. Like, what's the group of people, what do they desire, what's their desired situation, and what's their current situation, what are their pains, their problems they're experiencing. And from here we choose a niche which perfectly fits into all three of these, right? Like the sweet spot. This is where your niche is going to be, where it has your like the interests around the industries, you know, it has your skills, and it also like you understand the niche's desires and pains and all of that stuff. So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to give you a worksheet. Let me find you the worksheet. So yeah, this is the worksheet. Literally just list here 5 to 10 niches or industries you're already familiar with, right? For me, let's say it will be like self-improvement. And for this, you can literally just file, make a copy. So file thing here, make a copy. You can bring it into your own. That should work. And it will be right under this video. But just focus on this for now. Just list 5 to 10 industries you're kind of familiar with. Maybe you've like consumed content on them or you're interested in them, whatever it is, right? And remember, again, you don't need to be an expert or know everything about them. It's just something you're familiar with. That's the key word here. Just something you're familiar with. Number two, write down like list some skills you already have or you can learn pretty quickly to help these people, right? And remember, again, like it only takes 20 hours to get really good at a skill. 20 hours is literally nothing, right? 20 hours is like a week and you've like really gotten really good at a skill. Again, don't overthink this. Please don't overthink this. Just write stuff down. Just get in that flow, just brain dump, whatever it is, right? And again, list each niche's desires, right? From here, like let's say I said like, oh, my industry was like mindset, like okay, self-improvement, right? Like one of the industries for me was like self-improvement, masculinity, whatever it is, right? For the skills I have or I can learn, like I'm good at speaking, I'm good at like making YouTube videos, right? Whatever it is, something like that. And again, like don't worry about it. Like you can learn these pretty quickly. Don't worry about that. Number three is like, okay, like I can make like YouTube videos, self-improvement YouTube videos for young men. What are like the different like pains and problems young men are experiencing? Okay, they're lonely, they don't feel respected, they don't get girls, whatever it is, right? Whatever book was, like obviously it will be a lot different for you probably, but just write it down. And I mentioned this on the other thing, but yeah, literally number one, don't be a perfectionist. Trust the process and trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trust yourself. You can make this work. You can make this work. You will make this work. You're a man, or even if you're a woman, it doesn't matter. It's not that complicated. Don't overthink it. You can make this work. And use ChatGPT. So like, if I go back to the worksheet here, right? You can literally ask, hey ChatGPT, Dr. GPT, what are the pains and the problems that these type of people experience? How can I help them? What can I do, right? So inshallah, fill out this worksheet. You can ask ChatGPT for help and whatever, right? Sorry, that's the wrong thing. And yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions, let me know. Please don't overthink this. Please don't be like, oh my God, what's this niche? You know the answer. Just brain dump the worksheet. Just come up with whatever stuff you can, and you will get the answer with time. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect the first time. You're not marrying anything. Just get it done. Now that you've gone through exactly how to find your niche, the worksheet's in the description. You can go through exactly how to build your own offer. Alright boys, welcome to the offer masterclass where I'm going to be breaking down how to create an irresistible offer. So let's actually talk about why we should create an irresistible offer in the first place. Well, very simply and basically, your offer, it is the backbone of your business. It is literally the foundation to your strategy, your content, your product, and most importantly, the money you make. So it's very important we dial it in. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this module, inshallah. By creating an irresistible offer, we're going to build you literally the best foundation possible for your business. And your offer will allow you to stand out from your competition, increase your prices as much as you want, and you will never get the objection, oh, this is too expensive, I don't see the value in it. People will always see the value and they'll be willing to pay and they'll be happy to pay. It will just be a matter of if they can and if they can't. And literally, like, having a really dialed in offer, having a really good offer just makes sales super, super easy for you. So let's talk about how we're actually going to create our offer, right? We're going to be basically considering these 4 variables when we're creating our offer. Number 1, extreme pain. So I know we've spoken about niche before, but I just kind of a little bit, I just want to recap it. But whoever we decide to help, whoever our niche is, we want to make sure they have an extreme amount of pain. And the more pain they will have, the more they will pay. And number 2, they have purchasing power. They can actually buy our program for $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and it's not a problem for them. They have that purchasing power. Number 3, they're easy to target. They're not old grandmas that are sitting at home and aren't scrolling on Instagram Reels, or they're not watching YouTube. Of course, this should be pretty self-explanatory. I think everyone who's picked their niche, it is relatively easy to target, but you do also want to be specific, right? Because as we've spoken about before, I'm sure, riches are in the niches. When you're going to pick a specific niche, you can speak using their specific language, and that will make them feel understood, and that will allow them to trust you more and also come buy from you. And the last thing is just a growing market. Is this niche, are they growing? For example, newspapers. If you want to help newspaper agencies or people that write newspapers, that's not a growing market. They're dying every single year. There's getting less and less of them. So we want some niche that continues to grow. We've spoken about most of these before, but let's actually talk about the core offer components, how to build your offer, what is the exact fundamentals behind it. Again, I know we spoke about the minimum viable offer. That was just to get your foot on the ground, get you running, but just to dial all of it in, we're going to go over this stuff. Number 1 is identifying a dream outcome. So very simply, I help a specific person, our niche, achieve a specific outcome in a specific time frame without the biggest pain or fear. So for example, for me, you could say, I help Muslim men, which is my specific niche, make 5K a month in 180 days. So that's the outcome in the time frame without sacrificing the deen, right? A lot of Muslims want a halal online income. They don't want something that's haram or anything that would even distract them from their deen too much. And that's exactly what my dream outcome is. That's what my offer is around. Then secondly, we're going to list out all the perceived problems our clients might have. This is very, very important. And basically, you see, when I say something like this to someone, right? Oh yeah, we're going to get you to 5K a month in 180 days without sacrificing your deen. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's something they want. But at the same time, they'll be like, okay, wait, hold up a minute. Like, I don't really necessarily want to, there's so many different problems. There's so many things. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. And that's what we're going to overcome here. Basically, think about all of the problems they might come up with that might stop them from getting to their dream outcome. Like, for example, with me, it's to get to 5K a month. For you, it might be for them to get to, lose 10 kilos, get a 6-pack, wherever it is. Think about whatever problems they'll have in your program when they come and getting to their dream outcome. And then, what solution can we give to overcome these problems? For example, they might feel like they will know what work to do, but still not do it because of procrastination. For this, I'll build out an accountability system to keep them accountable. I'll also teach them why procrastination exists, how we can basically overcome that, stuff like that, right? So the action step basically is I want you to fill out this offer brainstorm sheet. So that will be the first link in the description under this video. I don't know what my Loom thing's here. But yeah, basically just fill it out. So I'll show you an example of my one. I hope you can see my screen, man. But yeah, that's kind of the example of my one. So I wrote down all these problems. Okay, they might not know what digital product to make or what to sell. Okay, I'm going to create an offer video module, an offer masterclass, which you're watching right now, that will show them everything they need, that will go over everything. So that's kind of what we're doing right here. Okay, super simple. Fill that out. You can use mine, not as an example, but more for like understanding, I guess. Like, okay, that's what we're doing, blah, blah. Number 3, listing out deliverables and the structure of our entire program and offer in general. So firstly, we're going to list out 5 main deliverables for your offer, which are basically the 5 key things your client will need to get to their dream outcome, right? For example, with me, it's the done for you systems and processes they're going to get. And then I yap a bit more about like what exactly it is and all that cute stuff. Then the second one is the offer blueprint. So they will learn exactly how to package up their knowledge and expertise and sell it into a high ticket program. Content mastery, sales masterclass, world-class delivery. So these are the deliverables. These are what I'm going to deliver to my boys, to my clients, to you guys to get results. So that's kind of how we're going to do it. For you, it might be weight loss tracking, this video modules on diet, nutrition, blah, blah, blah. Basically, everything they will need to get the results they want. We can then also list out the coaching structure for what they get. So the deliverables, what they're going to get is a little bit different to the coaching structure. For me, it's the step-by-step video modules they're going to get. But then on top of that, they're going to get weekly group coaching. They're going to get one-to-one calls. They're going to get done-for-you systems and weekly action items. Now, this is actually covering basically everything you could put into a coaching program. It's giving them basically like, it's a really, really good, right? And the thing with that is, right, in your offer, you don't need all of this stuff. So for example, you might have the step-by-step video modules, you might have weekly group calls, but you might not have one-to-one calls. Or you might have one-to-one calls, but you don't have weekly group calls. There might be a few things you add, few things like, for example, if you're doing fitness coaching, done for you systems don't really make sense. You could actually do like meal preps, or not meal preps, but meal plans, diet plans, exercise, workout plans. If you're a relationship coach, texting plans to get a wife, etc., etc., whatever it is, man. So there's always things we can add, but of course it's going to be different for everyone. Try giving out away as much as you can, because that will allow us to, again, stand out and charge as much as we want, and people will happily pay for it. Number 4 is just going to be implementing bonuses and guarantees in our offer. Bonuses are what our clients will get on top of everything else. So by having bonuses, it literally allows them to portray that there's an extra amount of value they're going to get from the program, from our offer. And psychologically, again, this pushes them to buy from us. The entire reason, one of the biggest reasons we're doing this is so they can, it makes sales easy. When we're on a sales call with them and we show them this, they want to buy. They're like, oh, this is awesome. This is so good. This makes perfect sense. And they don't only just want to buy, but in their mind, they can reason paying 5K, 10K for this. So for example, before I go into what my bonuses are, you want your bonuses to be so good that they could be a completely separate offer we sell to our client. We literally want it to be that valuable that after the deliverables and the coaching structure and everything, the bonuses are so good, they're like, oh, wow, I also get this. And again, from the offer brainstorm we talked about before, you might the problems you listed here, you might add a few things as a bonus from there. So these are kind of the bonuses I have for the program at the moment: content reviews, WhatsApp access, one-on-one game plans. And as you go through these, you'll see that all of these could be a separate thing I could sell, right? These could all be a bit different. This could be an entire program itself. And I'll be very honest with you, I have sold stuff like this literally separately. I have done that. Content. I've literally sold this for like 2K, even 1K back in the day, just this stuff alone. So again, very, very powerful. And I know that's when I show these bonuses to people, it just psychologically makes it easier for them to buy into the program. Now, even though we're giving all of this value through our deliverables, coaching structure, and the bonuses, there will still be some clients who are basically going to be on the fence, and they will still be hesitant to pay you a high ticket price, which is completely fair, because if you think about it from there, right, they're getting all of this value and it makes sense, but there's still a risk on their side. We've literally gone over all of the problems they could come up in their mind, and we've provided the solutions to them through our offer, through the deliverables, the coaching structure, the bonuses, but there's still some form of risk that might not work. And we can take that risk away by providing them with a guarantee that they will achieve their dream outcome. Now, there are basically two types of guarantees we can give. Number one is a conditional guarantee, and number two is basically an unconditional guarantee. And for most people, for most of you boys watching this, and for most people, what you're doing are done with you. So it's more of a coaching thing, and it's not like you're going and doing the whole thing. So if I was to come and build you the entire coaching business and take the sales calls for you and record the content, all this stuff, then I could give you a unconditional guarantee where I'm basically like, bro, if you don't make 10K a month, I'll give you your entire thing back. But that's when everything is in my control. For most of you guys, the guarantee you should use is a conditional guarantee, where there are certain conditions, but the guarantee is still in place. So, of course, it's nothing crazy, but it's still like, okay, if you watch the video modules, you do the work, you take action, you will get the results. And I know you might be a bit afraid to put guarantees in. Oh, you know, what if people do this? What if this happens, that happens? Look, at the end of the day, there are people in business, people are going to, eventually someone's going to ask you for a refund. And when someone asks you for a refund, there's not much you can do. Of course, you can do like, talk it out with them and you can sell them back into the program. But if they really want a refund, you kind of have to give it to them. So by giving them a conditional guarantee up front, we can collect more cash. We will get more sales. And basically, it will also allow you and almost motivate and push you to make such a good program and such a good product that your customers and clients do get good results. And long term, that's what's going to build generational wealth. When you have a program, when you have a product that is so good, it's actually changing people's lives, it's getting them results, you're going to have a very, very good business. You'll get referrals, your clients will stay with you for longer, all that stuff. So 110%, put a conditional guarantee. The one I use right now is will generate you 5 to 10K a month in revenue by the end of the 180 days, or I'll give you a full refund and continue to work with you for free until you get there. As long as that's the condition, as long as they attend the coaching calls, they've watched the video modules, etc. So you can put this into a contract as well. If someone's like really still like, oh bro, can we get into a contract? Just get ChatGPT to make you a contract. But usually people don't really ask for it. But having this conditional guarantee, I know it's pushed so many people over the line and gotten me extra sales, gotten me extra cash in the bank because of it. And I'll be very honest with you, it's pushed me to make my product and my program better so all of you can get better results. So the next steps for you, very simple. Fill out the deliverable sheet. I'll even put my deliverable sheet under it will be the fourth link, I guess. You can use that for kind of like understanding how I've done it, where I've done it. I know I've given you an example of all of this, but I'll kind of just give you an understanding again. And yeah, man, literally fill out the deliverable sheet, book a call with me, and inshallah we'll go from there on dialing in your offer. But that's simply it. Thank you. All right. Now that you've started creating content, you've built up your personal brand a bit, and you've figured out who you're going to sell to and what you're going to sell to them, it's time to build your own program and start selling it, basically. So this is where everything comes together. Your skill of high ticket sales you developed and the marketing and the personal branding you've built up. And you basically leverage all of that to start selling the offer, selling your program, and making money with it. Now, the next steps for you, if you've watched this far, I want you to understand that it will all be a waste of your time if you don't actually sit down and take action on this, if you do not execute on this. And you're already in the top 1% if you've gotten this far. It's been a long training, it's been a long video. And I need you to focus on relentless action and just don't give up. Just keep executing, keep going through this stuff, and just never ever like think about, oh, this isn't going to work. Again, having that positive belief will help you. And if you want to actually get to your goals faster, even if it's just getting into high ticket sales, getting trained up, getting to 10K a month, and you want to have accountability, exclusive sales training, and everything else you'll need to achieve your goal, book a call with me personally, and I'll see how I can help you, inshallah.